You are a bastard motherfucker.
Oh my gosh. That's how we're gonna start this podcast out. I forgot to.
Man, I wonder if you can still download
Bonsai Buddy. Does anybody remember that?
Can you still download that?
I believe. I imagine you could torrent it.
We should totally do it. Put him on the podcast.
Daisy, give me your answer to.
He would.
He was creepy.
He would say anything you typed, though.
He would. He's a typer. All right, here we go.
So I apologize in advance for this podcast. I have had, one night of virtually no sleep and then another night of shitty sleep. And, yeah. So,
He'll liven up, don't worry.
Oh, I'll liven up, but I'll just be...
You heard him. So, before we get started, we've got some news. Sort of. But OMG CBD Hour shop here in Columbus, Indiana has partnered with Stevie Wicks Candle Company. And
so you can go get it in the stove.
I mean, technically, we've probably been partnered up anyway because it's all on the same podcast.
But now they're physically in the store.
Physically in the store. So you can walk in there, and there's also a pickup spot if you order on steviewicks.com. And you know what? We need to figure out...
There's also a pickup location in Fishers.
Together. That'd be cool. Yes.
And one coming soon for...
Where is that pickup in Fishers?
I don't want to put that on this podcast.
Okay. Why?
Maybe later.
You don't want business out there?
I don't want to hear it from my business partner.
Oh, really?
I don't think it would be an issue, but I don't want to deal with it.
Just in case. Gotcha.
Yeah, I just don't want to mess with it. And plus, anybody who knows me already knows, so you know where it is.
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Do you have any random facts you want to share?
I do, because actually the genesis...
You start it, and I'm going to double check things.
The genesis of this episode idea was actually I was making some shorts, and we were talking about Disney and The Lion King, and then I remembered, and I can't believe I really regretted that I didn't bring this up because it's a really cool fact. So I was like, screw it, I'm going to bring it up on the podcast. Why not make an episode of it? So did you know, in the original Lion King, the animated version, during Scar's musical number, Be Prepared, which is the best song in the movie, Jeremy Irons lost his voice when he had most of the song recorded. I think it was about 3/4. So and it's in the movie, because they never fixed it. So if you listen to this...
Pause for a second. Something's weird.
Crip.
Sorry to interrupt.
That's okay. That may not be a...
It says excellent connection, so...
I got the old notification. No, it's working for me.
No, we're good. Okay.
Okay, so I'll...
Shit didn't want to load. My bad.
I'll start over. It don't matter.
We had a concurrent viewer. Okay, I gotta fix that again. And there we go.
All right, so...
Technical dillities.
So did you know, in Disney's The Lion King, the animated version, not the crappy live-action one, about 3/4 of the way through Scar's song, which incidentally is the best song in the movie, Be Prepared, Jeremy Irons actually lost his voice when they were recording it. So about 3/4 of the way through the song, actually right after he screams, "You won't get a sniff without me," it switches over to Jim Cummings, who was a longtime Disney voice actor and kind of their vocal chameleon. He also did the voice for Ed, the hyena. And also Winnie the Pooh for a very long time. In fact, I think he's still playing Winnie the Pooh for Disney.
Oh, bother.
I can't do it. But if you listen to it and you're trying to hear it, he does a pretty good job of matching Jeremy Irons' voice, but it does change because, actually, he becomes a much better singer. Like, the vocals are much clearer, and it's less rhythmically talking and more like actually singing. And where it really comes through is when he says, "And seen for the wonder I am," and he holds the note, it's like perfect. You can hear the difference.
The difference between a voice actor and a singer.
Well, no, Jim Cummings is a voice actor, but he's...
Oh, yeah.
But he's so good at controlling his voice that I'm sure he's a phenomenal singer because he's so good at that.
Nice.
But go watch it and listen, and you'll never unhear it. That's the frustrating part. Every time I watch Lion King, I'm like, oh, here comes Jim, and it's like such a better job. I'm over here like, why didn't you just let him do the whole song?
It is what it it is.
Yeah.
Another fun fact about the Lion King is that when Scar drops Mufasa down, like they didn't see no body or anything like that. I'm pretty sure have you seen this TikTok? Well, apparently the antelope they do not eat lions. Jeez, talk. They do not eat lions, so therefore only lions eat other lions. And so when Scar is holding the skull in his hand, that's a lion skull.
That's right. It had fangs.
Mm-hmm. That was a lion skull. That was Mufasa's skull.
That's right.
Guaranteed.
Is that an homage to Hamlet? I mean, Lion King is
Could be.
Hamlet. Well, I forgive me. I'm uncultured. I've
You
not
uncultured swine.
I've not seen or read Hamlet in its entirety. The bit where he's got you always see somebody holding a skull anyway, and he's like, what's the line?
I can't remember. I think I thought he was singing.
It's the whole bit, like the shuffle of this moment to sleep, perchance to dream. That whole thing.
It's been so long since.
But somebody's usually holding the skull, and they make the joke in Billy Madison because he's got the apple, right?
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
no, that's not. I'm sorry,
No.
that's not
To be or not to be.
He is, but the apple bit I'm thinking of, and they make a Lion King joke, is actually Third Rock from the Sun. When Harry has it, he's saying the line, and he's got an apple, and then he turns it, and he's bitten the face into it.
Hi, Harry. Harry, you're an apple.
Oh my God! Maybe not best. One of the best text exchanges we've ever had. Happy Christmas, Ron.
Merry Christmas. Or Happy Christmas, Harry. Merry Christmas, Ron. I can't remember exactly.
It's Happy Christmas in the UK.
It is Happy Christmas because it's not merry. It's happy.
It's merry here, damn it.
Merry.
And you can... Okay, so here's another fun fact. The modern... Well, at least in the United States, the modern incarnation of Christmas, and therefore the international one in terms of media, was largely created in the United States. And did you know that in the early period before we were really celebrating Christmas the way we do now, there was a big movement on trying to get people to not celebrate it because it was getting so rowdy and people were getting drunk and drunken disorderly conduct.
Good old family tradition.
Well, it's become a family tradition, but much like Halloween, it started out as a really rambunctious, sort of problematic celebration.
Family tradition. That's what they were doing. Not drinking Pepsi.
No, everybody knows Coca-Cola is the drink of Christmas because of all the polar bears and Santa
And the Coke.
and the Coke.
They need to bring back the original recipe. No, I was kidding. No.
Well, I mean, it's not. I guess it's not the original. Oh, the original recipe. Oh,
Yeah, and you know fun fact for any people who don't remember New Coke. Like, we weren't around when New Coke was a thing, but I know about it. New Coke was the answer to Pepsi. They sweetened it up, and New Coke tasted like Pepsi, and people were pissed off because they said, we don't drink Coke for Pepsi. We want original Coke. And the thing is, so they switched it back, and that's why it's called Classic Coke.
huh?
This is going to be a good episode.
Yes, it is. So, but that's interesting you bring that up because here's the thing: I will drink Coke or Pepsi. I prefer Coke though because it has kind of it's not bitter, but it's bitter compared to like Pepsi's overall sweetness.
Pepsi is way
It's
sweeter.
got a little bit more of a bite, not a spicy bite, but it's got a little bit more of a bite. And
Why is it so spicy?
why is it spicy? No, it's crisp. It's like a crisper taste.
It's so gangster, you got to swallow it twice. That sounds not friendly.
Ha! Gay!
That was probably one of my best tweets.
Yeah, a
I'm
touch
not gonna
offensive,
go
but
it's okay though. Elon owns Twitter now.
yeah.
So.
I'm still laughing at the Little Mermaid short we did. God, that was so funny.
That was hilarious. I've watched it like 10 times myself,
So
and it's
funny.
so funny.
I just love that when you're like, she's gonna be the best friend. I'm so happy for you.
It was spot on, was it not?
Oh.
That was straight California girl.
Oh
Or
yeah.
What do you call that? Valley girl.
Valley girl.
Yeah.
Here's a fun fact. This is really good, and this ties into a joke I heard once. So, do you know where we get the word thing from?
No.
So way back in ancient Scandinavia, and I'm not going to use the word Viking, but for the Viking times, when they would have, it wasn't planned, but they would let people know, there would be a big gathering that like an earl or a lord or sometimes even a king would have, and they'd do all kinds of different stuff. They'd settle disputes, they'd hold trials, they'd, discuss trade, they'd plan for raids that season if there were any coming up. And since it was somewhat unspecified what they would be doing, it was called a thing. So they'd be like, we're going to the thing. And that's why in English, the word thing it's a placeholder because it could be anything. So when a valley girl in California goes, oh, I can't, I have a thing, she's actually correct.
She's got a thing.
She's got a thing.
You know what? This I wouldn't really consider this a fact or anything like this, but it's just bizarre because, like, there are creatures on the planet who do communicate in different other ways. Whether it be like, I guess, body language or like just how they're how they are.
The majority of human communication is nonverbal.
It's wild. We literally speak these sounds that come out of our mouth, and you understand me, and we have full-blown conversations, and it's really bizarre when you like get down into like what we are and everything like that. It's kind of creepy when you think about it. We're just these things with these brains in our heads, and we exist.
Yeah, and we make mouth sounds that we all just agree mean the same thing, which is really weird. Fun
fact, when you're kissing, someone's making the noise. No one... when you kiss, it does not happen automatically. Someone makes the noise. I told my wife this, and she's like, no. And I kissed her without making the noise, and she's like, whoa.
What, you mean like the lip smacking sound?
Yeah.
Like, are you saying that people do it intentionally?
Yes. I'm telling you, dude, next time you go out on your date or whatever, just kiss each other, be like, listen, don't make the noise. Or don't even say nothing. You just make sure. Like, seriously, because, like, when you just put lips on another, there's really no smacking sound. People make the noise. Who agrees? Who disagrees? Because the thing is, he's sitting over here questioning his existence.
Well, no, okay, so no, you're not wrong, but I think the thing is, like, because kissing...
I'm saying, okay, I'm
kissing
sorry.
has emotion.
It's over embellished. Like, people, like that. I'm talking when you're in the heat of it, you're getting down and dirty, pig sex, Sorry, I brought out a little of my metal days. You never bring me flowers.
That is not what Neil Diamond sounds like.
This is what Jim Carrey sounds like. But I just thought that was funny.
Speaking of Jim Carrey, this one was a mind bender for me. So, if you're an elder millennial or even somebody from Generation X, when you watched Ace Ventura: Pet Detective in your house, there's the scene where right before he finds the stone in the ring at the bottom of the tank, there's the press out there, and he comes out and does the whole like dolphin trainer bit. Heinz gets velvet, that guy. So my nephews just discovered last year Ace Ventura, and they want me to watch it with them. So I'm like, okay, twist my arm. But I'm watching it, and that scene comes up, and they completely skip over that, and I'm like, what the hell? They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, there's a scene missing. Well, not the whole scene, but they took part of it out. Turns out, in re-releases of that movie, that was actually the theatrical cut. They cut that bit out of the theatrical release, and they added it back in for the home video and versions that were put on TV to elongate the runtime. So I thought they censored it, but it's actually being released as the original theatrical version now. But it's such a great bit. The scene honestly feels worthless without it because almost nothing happens.
Actually, I just agreed with you because I thought I would remember it as you're speaking of it. I don't remember it. Maybe I haven't. Maybe I've only ever seen it on TV. Because you're saying on TV they cut it out, but
I don't know.
I've never watched it on home video because
No, I think they
home
added
video.
it.
Listen, that's we're showing our age because that's what they called it. Like nowadays, you say, "Oh, I stream it at home," or I mean, like not many people are saying they watch it on DVD anymore or even Blu-ray. Everyone says they stream it. Sorry.
Well, I got.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
I got the double feature, the DVD double feature for my birthday, and I recently watched Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, and it wasn't in there.
Oh, I bet that blew your mind. You're like,
well, I was watching it. I was watching for it because I know that I pulled it up on YouTube and showed them. They're like, "Oh, that's so funny. Why'd they take it out?" I'm like, "I don't know. I didn't think it was particularly offensive." I mean, maybe the Dolphins were like, "What do we want? Cut that scene. What do we want to eat?"
Fun fact of Ace Ventura 2, the opening scene when the was it Ace Ventura 2?
When Nature Calls.
When Nature Calls, when the monkey he's holding by his hands and he drops them.
Oh, that's the raccoon.
The raccoon.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the second one, correct?
Mm-hmm.
That was a bit to Cliffhanger, the movie with
it was a parody of Cliffhanger with Sylvester
Stallone. Yeah, that was pretty fun. Like some of these facts you might know, but the thing is, we've got younger generations. Considering our demographics are between 16 and 34, so primarily, I mean, some of you might not know about it. Like if you haven't watched Ace Ventura, watch it. It's a great movie. Go to 90s genre and just pick any movie. I guarantee you're probably gonna like it. It's gonna be a little corny, but it's fun. Encino Man, that's a great movie.
I don't think I've seen Encino Man.
Oh, Brendan Fraser and Pauly Shore and
no, I haven't seen it.
And Samwise Gamgee.
No, I haven't seen it.
Yes.
Whenever anybody brings up Brendan Fraser, I always think of Blast from the Past.
That's a great movie. I can't say it. Well, hello there.
It's like, holy smokes, a Negro.
Okay, he said, holy stars, a Negro. How do you do? I do fine. Yeah, that's
the crap that could be made today, but it's not offensive. It's the fact that he was in a bomb shelter since the Cuban Missile Crisis, and he wakes up in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that we're going to turn around on all this, and
we have to.
We're getting there because like this whole offended thing is just it's boring.
Well, so for example, if you're on a
you can be offended. I'm sorry, that's
yeah,
a dumb thing
you
to
can,
say.
but be offended by something that's actually offensive. But if you look at all the racial humor on places like TikTok, for the most part, are being like their jokes being made by the people that should be offended by them, and it's like I get it. There are some things that are offensive, but at the end of the day, you got to be able to laugh at a lot of shit. Now, there's some stuff that you shouldn't laugh at. Like, for example, I saw that story, or I saw the video of those dorks somewhere in Utah who were, on Halloween, they dressed up in prisoner outfits and were blackfacing.
Yeah, and someone said, hey, that's really offensive.
It is.
And I was like, it is, but, I mean...
I guess my whole bit is, like, I don't think, like, yeah, in the name of freedom, like, don't put them in jail, but, like, where are those kids' parents?
I don't know. Like
did they not realize?
You know, the funny thing is, at first I watched that video so fast, and I didn't realize what it was, and I just thought they were black kids and stuff like that. And I was like, geez, man. I was like, they're going hardcore. And I was like, and then I looked closer, and I was like, their faces are painted.
You couldn't tell by their haircuts.
Yeah, and you know how many people have been canceled for blackface?
Well, no, I mean they're coming at them pretty hard, but I mean they didn't.
Kids.
They didn't. They also didn't do anything illegal.
You know, so it's like. At the end of the day, like, you don't have to be like, oh, they need to be canceled or they need to be ostracized. You just say, you guys are fucking idiots, and
that's basically
be done with it.
Yeah. Well, but to play devil's advocate, so it's not like they used like brown makeup. It was like black.
Listen, dude, I'm just gonna say, I would laugh my ass off if I would laugh my ass off if a black person like painted their face white as shit and then dressed up. I know, but and then dressed up as like something hilarious. You know, like I find that shit hilarious.
Well, the reason that is though, and I'm like, you're right, that's hilarious. And they did that bit in Scrubs too, because JD and Turk go as. Well, the bit works though because JD's in blackface and Turk's in whiteface, and JD even says, he's like, "Are you sure this is okay?" And Turk's like, "Nah, they'll find it hilarious." But then, right as they knock on the door to Turk's friend's house, who are of course all black, Turk sees a friend and walks away. So it's just JD in blackface. He thinks Turk's right there.
Douchebag. That's hilarious.
It's fucking great. But so what I was saying, to play devil's advocate though, like it's not like, I mean, they were in blackface, but don't get me wrong, it's not like they were in like the vaudeville style where it was like brown makeup and like it was pure.
I thought for some reason they were coal miners or something like that.
Well, so that's what I'm talking about. So is Mary Poppins racist then? Because they do that bit with the chimney where it's like they're chimney sweepers, so they're gonna get dirty.
I'm just that's probably just see the chimney, but it's just dumb. Like
I think their reaction proved that they were going for blackface though, but it could have easily been like, no, we're coal miners. Like I mean, I wouldn't have believed them, but
coal miner's daughter.
I'm not from Pennsylvania.
I'm not Harry. Well, of course you aren't.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Dude, have you seen the Harry Potter with guns instead of wands?
Yeah.
That is by far one of the best videos I've ever seen. And the people who edited that thing deserve a nomination. That is so good.
That's so funny.
I have gas, and I'm telling you.
You just stay right over there.
Well, my well has run dry. I'm just kidding. Well, let me see.
Well.
So,
and this isn't really a fun fact, but it's a show. Actually, it's a show you would probably like. Have you ever watched Miracle Workers? Speaking of Harry Potter.
No.
Okay, so, and this is saying a lot coming from me because I don't like anthology shows at all, but this one is so stupidly funny. So the concept, there's 3 seasons now. The first season, they're all angels that work for God in heaven, and Daniel Radcliffe, it's the same cast, but it's a different story every season. So in season 1, Daniel Radcliffe is the angel in charge of the Department of Miracles, but they're not like big miracles. His whole bit is like he gets super excited, like melting random snowflakes so somebody can find their keys when it's snowing outside, like that kind of stuff, or like making one leaf blow away so that somebody will see something. It's hilarious. And it's so funny because Daniel Radcliffe, I don't know why I mean, he's phenomenal, but he has this quality where it's like he can be funny doing mundane things. And that's a prime example of that, because he's just like, oh, let's get this one. Come on, all you have to do is look down. It's like, oh, we're pulling double duty today. It's very exciting. And then in season 2, it's set during the Dark Ages, and he plays this prince, and his dad's like this bloodthirsty warlord that literally kills people in front of him, and he's just like this real dainty dork who has a bunch of pet ducks. And it shouldn't be funny, but it's hilarious, because the reason I watch this show is there's a promo with Daniel Radcliffe as the prince, and he's like he's got all these ducks around him, and then at one point he's like, "Oh, don't eat so fast, you'll get a tummy ache." I don't know why it's so funny.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
It kills me. Oh my god, it's so damn funny. And then at one point he's like looking at his portrait of his dad, and it's like all menacing and serious, and then he's on a horse with like this kind of thing going. He's like, "Do you think I failed to live up to my father's expectations?" And his like helper guy is like, "That's gonna be a hard yes." Oh, and then the other bit I love, this is in the second season too. They get in the carriage and he goes, "Bar to turn up the music, play party mix." And there's this dude sitting across from him who starts going, who starts singing. He's like, "Party, party, party, everybody's at the party. We're at the party, party." Skip. "A bear has a long, long tail. He lives." Skip. "Party, party." And then later, they're meeting this prince from another kingdom who's like a raver. Like, they're in
raver, like, boof, boof, boof.
Well, like the medieval version. So you see him, they just cut outside the tent, and the dude's singing the same song. He's like, "I love this song, turn it up." And then he just starts singing louder.
All right, you convinced me.
It's good. It's good. Steve Buscemi plays God in season 1, so it's good. He's like, I think I'm just gonna blow it up.
I don't know what TV show it's from, but where Steve Buscemi is holding a skateboard on his back. Is that from the same show?
No.
Okay.
I don't know what show that is. Hello, fellow kids. I thought that was a Saturday Night Live skit, wasn't it?
I don't know. I see it's a meme.
I use it all the time.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say everybody. Let me see.
Like, did you know that millennials have this thing about not growing up?
No.
Like, it's played for laughs, but it's kind of half true.
I literally search for things that remind me of my childhood, and that's what nostalgia is about. Nostalgia is not just looking for things because like you want to play them. It's to make you feel young.
You know what I think the main reason for that is, though? Is because honestly, we're the first generation that's had access to all that stuff easily because of like the new media. Like
we experienced the World Wide Web for the first time. I mean, the internet was around and it was a tad different before the World Wide Web. The Internet Explorer. Hold on, we shut the door.
What
My
the
water softener.
What the hell? Oh yeah, that's your.
But I mean, we got to experience the World Wide Web for what it was, like back on Windows 95.
Oh, and when it was really the Wild West.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, we got to experience what was it? Basically, the digital age come to life, and it's weird. Like kids that are born, like my kids, they were born in 2016 and 2018, and even kids born in like 2010 and stuff like that, they were born into the digital age.
They don't know a life without it.
And it was honestly like I appreciate technology. I love technology, but if I could go back to before technology, like not all technology. I'm not gonna go back to heating, or keeping my house lit with candles. I'm talking like if we could go back just a little bit, like right when the internet was beginning. That was probably prime America. Like, it was the best it was because the thing is, while we're sitting here streaming to you live from our home in comfort and, millions of people could see it, but they don't.
Because you're assholes.
But the thing is, like, you didn't have that ability back then, so therefore, you had to go out and talk to other people, and honestly, people were more friendly then. And nowadays, all people do is sit on the internet and bitch and whine.
But to be like, yeah, I look back fondly on those days too because again, you kind of had to. We would utilize technology, but it enhanced our physical lives because it was like, yeah, we'd call each other up on the phone, but that was to figure out a place to meet so that we could
had
hang out
home phones. But the thing is, though, once you left your home, there was no contacting each other. So the thing is, if you did not get all your ducks in a row, people were lost.
Yeah.
We still have a friend we've never seen to this day. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we were supposed to meet up by the creek, and he just never showed up.
I heard he went into the Army. Had a teddy bear obsession. But,
Still legitimately one of the most awkward moments of my life.
Fun fact. I don't have one.
Fun fact, did you know that the teddy bear was named after President Teddy Roosevelt?
I did know that.
Fuck you too.
It would be so much more funny if you knew.
It really would.
You know what? I've got a fun fact about a friend of ours.
Ben was the boat.
Ben was the boat. He was the best of all time. He was a wrestler. You can check out his account here on YouTube. Ben the referee. He passed away recently. Well, not recently, but within the last 6 months.
Yeah,
about
April.
4.
Yeah,
4 or 5. Yeah, hot girls here.
Where?
Woo! Go ahead, just keep commenting. Just 'cause.
You know what? We'll let you advertise on this podcast if you send the hot girls here.
This shit is so dumb.
Help with the views.
Like, I don't know if it. Fun fact. I don't know if it's real. When people comment on videos and it's got like stupid stuff like that, like hot girls here, hot girls here, hot girls here, is that an actual person or is it a bot?
I have a question. So the second one says hot girls here, and then it has the symbol. No, the second one has the male symbol. Well, that's a byproduct of 2022, I guess.
Do they identify as girls, or are they do they have an XX chromosome?
Oh, I see. I was like, that is a girl, but I got you. I got you.
Fun fact: there are only two genders.
Actually, so I have a bit of a hot take on that.
There are abnormalities.
No, that's not what I mean.
But at the end of the day, there are XX and XY chromosomes, and if you dig up a person or bones from 100 years ago, you will identify what's in their bones. So I stole that from Matt Walsh.
I'm about to blow your mind.
Oh, yay!
So seriously though, like this is my honest to goodness belief. I think that there are legitimately 4 genders now, but 2 of them were created artificially. Let me explain. So you have male and female, obviously, and I'm going to use your chromosome point. I'm not going to say argument because we're not arguing, but I'm going to use your chromosome point to prove my point. So you maintain that a woman is someone with XX chromosomes, yes?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so what if that person is male presenting, though, as in a trans man?
It's still a woman because it
has. Would you have sex with them?
No.
Why?
Because for one, I'm not attracted.
Because it looks like a guy.
I'm not attracted to a butt.
I didn't mean it that way.
Oh,
I meant like in the general sense.
That.
You see what I'm saying though? Like it's a woman, but you wouldn't.
Well, for one, it depends on what they prefer, and it all comes down to preference. I mean, that's a good point. That's
why I'm saying I think we have 2. And when I say artificial, I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean that it doesn't happen naturally in nature.
But at the end of the day, though, that's
true. But I'm talking.
A woman.
So this is where I get mildly annoyed with myself because I'm talking about gender and not sex. Sex is binary. Gender is. It's not fluid. No, it's not fluid. But I'm not gonna go so far as to say it's a construct. But at the same time,
it's not malleable either. How's Ben Shapiro say that?
But it is. Only one way though. So here's what I mean by that. So
no. You can change parts.
I'm only talking about the exterior.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by gender though.
Because the thing is, even when say a man goes under the knife and gets it done, they literally, I don't know if you know this, but they literally have to insert a dilator every so often to keep it open from sealing up.
Correct. Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. So,
and I'm sorry, but a natural woman is not going to have to do that. So
correct. That's why I'm saying I think there are 4. You've got male, female, trans male, and trans female.
I'll give you that.
Well, here's probably a better example.
Because the thing is, if you identify, if they have a license on that, like not license, but like for doctors' purposes, and they put that on there so they can say that instead of just saying, "Oh, I'm a female," and it's like, no, you're not.
No, you're a trans female.
Because the thing is, if you have a surgery that is, and they think you're a man or a woman, shit can go wrong because our bodies, there are things in different places in a man versus woman.
Like a prostate, for example.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that's a very good point. I will give that to you because the thing is, like I said, if people want to do that, cool.
That's basically fine. Where it's coming from. It's an acknowledgement that this exists. Sometimes I think the argument gets a little bit too hung up on being right versus being accurate. And I think anymore, because we are in a place medically where we can do these things, and with hormone replacements, you can, I'm not going to go so far as to say like a trans woman is a woman per se, not in the biological sense, but it's certainly not a male.
If you don't get offended by someone saying you're a trans woman or a trans man,
I think that's a good middle ground that
I'll call you whatever you want if it says that. But the thing is, if you try to say you're cisgendered, you're not.
So here's the funny thing, and actually I've been thinking about this because I can't help myself. This is how my brain works. I think that's a good middle ground that everyone can agree on, because here's what I mean by that. So I think where people get bent out of shape on pronouns is because they think, and I I'm kind of
pronouns are so dumb.
well, but here's the thing. I'm kind of sort of in this camp, but I'm not coming around in the. Let me explain.
I'm like sinks, his and hers.
Well, no, but here's the thing. You can't do that. But so I would be okay with meeting in the middle of not saying, like, for example, a trans woman is not a woman. Like, I'm not going to go that far. But if we all agree collectively and grammatically that, like, women and trans women's pronouns, linguistically speaking, are she, her, and male and trans male pronouns, grammatically and linguistically, are he, him, I'm fine with that.
If you look like a woman,
yeah, I'll meet in the middle.
If you look like a woman, I'll call you whatever. I don't really care.
I'll
But
meet in the middle.
the thing is, like the thing that Matt Walsh was talking to on who was it? Dr.
Phil.
Dr. Phil.
Yeah,
thank you.
the bearded lady.
The bearded lady, and I'm like, it's a beard. I was like, I know some women have facial hair, but I was like, that's a bearded man. Woman,
That's a
whatever.
man. That's a man with long
But
hair.
the thing is, I was like, whatever. I was like, you can be called whatever you want, but don't force it.
Well, that's just it. That's what I'm saying. This is why I think it would be an appropriate middle ground, because it's not going away, and I'm not gonna.
I mean, I'll be honest. I don't have anyone that I know who is like that. So it's like, I don't have that issue of talking like that. I know you know.
I have to do the dance.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, you're respectful about it because.
Well, I'm
honestly,
respectful.
That's the
I'm
way
respectful
you
to
are.
a point, because, like I said, I at the moment, how I will generally speaking, I'll usually address, or not even address. Sorry, if I'm talking about someone who is trans, I will usually refer to them by their name. But if I'm using a pronoun, it's usually they or them, because it's nice and even though it's grammatically incorrect. Fun fact.
Yeah, because they is technically a group of people or two or more people.
Yeah, technically speaking. So it
the
should
thing
be.
is, how many personalities you got up in that head? That's what we want to know. Who's they?
Well, you could make the argument that there's at least two, but we're not going to get into that because that could be considered offensive.
That's actually a good point. Yeah.
So it may be appropriate. I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry, we can't help just talk about.
Well, but that's
stuff like this.
here's
This
the
is a hot
problem.
topic,
Here's
really.
the problem, though. We should be able to talk about it and not be labeled as offensive, because we're just spitballing ideas here. Like, I could be totally wrong, but if I can't have the conversation, I don't know I'm wrong.
Basically, what he's trying to do is give it.
I'm trying to
and the thing is, just be like, okay, so all right, cool. Then we don't need to talk about this anymore, and that's settled.
like, yeah, we can agree to kind of meet in the middle here,
Right.
because we don't have to. Because I mean, let's be real, and I'll go on the record saying this to say with certainty that someone who was born a male and through operations and hormone therapies has become a woman is nonsense. Now, I know there are all these arguments, and these might be accurate. I don't know. I'm not a neuroscientist. I don't know how the human brain works any more than anybody else.
You played one on TV, though.
Technically, it was cosmetic surgeon, but
Tuck.
and there's this whole nuance of the male versus female brain and different this, that, and the other. But on surface level, that person, as much as they may want to be, is not a female, nor will they ever know what it's like to be a female truly, because they were not born a female, and the reverse is true too. That is not to say that people cannot do what they want to do. I've never said that. I've been, if you're 18, go nuts, do whatever the fuck you want. I don't give a shit.
Legal adult. Let's go. Let's start
Yeah,
there.
that's legal adult.
Yeah. Anything else is just wrong. Don't do that.
It's not even wrong per se. It's just that, like, and I know there's a lot of people who argue that, well, an 18-year-old's not an adult. Well, it's like, well, legally, yes. In most states. Some states you actually have to be 19 to buy, like, tobacco and whatnot. But we're talking just as the law is written, generally speaking, 18 means you're an adult. That's when you're allowed to vote. You can join the military. You can do all this other stuff except drink for some reason. So I think that's until they change the law, that's the age at which you can start changing your body around, start getting tattoos and all that. Because you have to be 18 to get a tattoo or have a parent's signature. So I'm kind of rambling here. I don't really
He's
know.
a rambling man.
Rambling on.
Well, let's get back on our facts.
Well, no, so here's a fun fact that ties into what we were just talking about. Did you know that the procedure that they use today to give fake phalluses to trans men was actually originated during and after the First World War?
For men who got their wieners blown off?
Yep.
Sorry,
It's basically
I'm not filtered.
it's basically the same procedure. Obviously, it's been updated with modern medical technology, but as far as I understand it, the procedure is still pretty much the same. Skin graft from the thigh or somewhere, and then they make the schlong.
They need to also insert a little speaker down there so it plays the Imperial theme when it happens. Dun, 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 dun.
I would be all for that implant.
Dun, 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 dun.
And then when I'm done the deed, it just goes, no.
Fun fact about Darth Vader. James Earl Jones has voiced him since the beginning. Isn't it awesome?
Yep.
That's not really
Although
a
apparently-
crazy fun fact because I guarantee you everybody knows that.
Well, no,
I don't
he retired recently.
He did retire, but they have enough.
They just had him come in there.
He actually, he literally just came in and recorded a bunch of vocal performances, and so they're gonna be able to splice it all together. Which actually, bam! Fun fact. Did you know that the last episode of South Park with Chef in it was all his words spliced from older episodes? And the thing is, it's kind of like known, but it's still pretty cool. The actual fact is that Isaac Hayes, he decided that with everything they made fun of throughout the years, and even Matt Stone and Trey Parker were like, he literally sat there and and watched us make fun of every other single person on the earth. And I can't remember what it was that he was offended by.
It was Scientology.
Was it Scientology or was it Israelites?
It was Scientology.
Was it Scientology? Okay, well, they made fun of Scientology and Isaac Hayes quit. But the thing is, they owned rights to his voice acting work, so therefore they just cut it all up and made Chef
anything
into a
that had
robot.
been previously recorded. But
And that sucked because Chef was a great character.
Well, but here's another fun fact for you. At the time, Isaac Hayes was also dealing with some health issues. And there is now speculation because his son has come out and said that his father actually didn't have a problem with South Park. It was actually, according to him, the Church of Scientology that had the issue with everything, and they convinced Isaac Hayes to quit in protest.
Because that's what they do.
Well, but he said that his father was not in a sound state of mind. So I don't know if that's true, but that's what his son has apparently gone on the record saying, which makes a lot more sense because, I mean...
Fun fact, that it's not really, it's kind of the same, but Roseanne Barr, on her exit from her own show.
Her exit.
Exit, fired, whatever. So when she made fun of that person on the tweet...
who was she making fun of?
I can't remember, but said she looked like the one of the apes from Planet of the Apes. Well, anyway, so apparently she was taking certain nighttime pills that make you hallucinate and all kinds of crazy stuff, and it's actually well documented that this stuff happens to people and they do crazy things. Now, granted, I think that just might be a way out for her. But the thing is, she was still fired. Not really a crazy fun fact, but the thing is, I'm recently just finished Roseanne, and I'm watching The Connors, and it's not a bad show, but it's very, woke now. It's not very fun anymore.
I'm trying to remember who she tweeted about.
Just put, who did
That's
Roseanne make fun of?
Who the fuck is it?
I'm pretty sure she was
Valerie Jarrett.
She's a congresswoman, right?
I think so.
I'm gonna assume Democrat.
That can't be her.
I mean, Not really. It might be. I don't know. Like she. Let me see.
Is she? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. She does kind of look like that character.
Yeah, Obama aide Jared.
Is she black? Tell me, is that woman black?
Yeah.
Oh wow, she really does look like that. Like, okay, so here's the thing.
I'm sorry.
It's not a racist tweet though, because it was a white actress playing that character, and I'm not gonna lie.
I know who I am.
That word.
I'm a dude playing a dude. Another
dressed up, disguised as another dude.
You know, so I mean, it is what it is, but she actually, maybe, is she Muslim?
I have no idea, but
Islam is not a race.
No.
Lefties. Islam includes every race of people.
Quite literally.
Is it really?
Yeah. Yeah, Islam is not an ethnicity.
Oh, you mean religion?
No,
it is a religion.
Islam is a religion, but it's not. You said it wasn't a race because it's not.
Why did that? Islam is not a race. Islam includes every race of people. Oh, geez, I completely read that wrong. I was just confused.
Islam is not a race. It's a marathon. It's not a good joke.
That is a terrible joke. It's not even funny. Why am I laughing? I'm just kidding.
Because it's that bad.
Did you know fans were created in 1834?
Like the hand ones or the electric ones?
Just fans in general.
No, that's bullshit.
No, fans. What kind of fans?
Like the Super Smash Brothers kind, or the
People
kind you
fans? I'm your biggest fan.
The fuck are you talking about?
I have no idea.
Fans were invented in 1812. No, they weren't.
See, that's the thing about the internet. Anyone can say anything stupid, and people, some people will back you up.
So a
lot of people will.
I'm about to out us. So that Little Mermaid short that we enjoyed so much,
I was wrong.
I had to edit the shit out of it because I wanted the bit. But this guy is like,
I read the story wrong.
It's about
the guy who wrote the story.
So there's a fun fact that we can tie into.
Oh,
listen, did you know?
Yeah, make it a proper short. Go ahead.
So the Little Mermaid short we did, I have to confess, we had to edit the crap out of. Like I said, because this guy is saying that the Little Mermaid falls in love with a prince who falls in love with another man. And at the time, I didn't question it because there are so many versions of the story. I'm like, that wouldn't surprise me. But then I just, thank God, I wanted to fact check myself. I could find nowhere a version where the prince was gay. But what I did find out was that allegedly Hans Christian Andersen wrote the story of the Little Mermaid after professing his love to another man. And that guy being like, no homo.
I was wrong.
Which makes so much sense if you read The Little Mermaid. Like, if you know the story, it makes so much sense.
The undertone was there.
Yeah, but so that bit, I cut that perfect where he's like, he falls in love with another.
Yeah, I didn't even catch the part where I was starting to say man.
Oh, I cut it perfect.
See, listen, that is how easy it is to get things wrong.
I'm so happy for you.
But the thing is, though, I mean, like the bit about her saying that's still.
And I will say, normally I wouldn't have even posted that short, but I wanted the bit so bad because it was so funny that I just had to cut around it for accuracy. Because I could have, oh my God, could you imagine if I'd posted that? People, there's no version where he's in love with a man. But now that I sent you a text about this, Disney, if you have the prince fall in love with a man and you change the story on to where Ariel becomes like his best friend who helps him get the guy, I'm suing. Or we're suing.
All right, I got one for you. Fun fact. Spawn, the movie, then what was it, 1997?
Yes.
Okay, so Spawn the movie, the clown played by John Leguizamo, he had to basically be hunched over the entire time in that clown suit and just like kind of like not a quarterback, but like a linebacker, going to attack, and he's kind of hunched down. He had to be like that for the entirety of the movie filming, which is anyone who knows how to make a movie, which I don't, but I mean, you might. That's a long time to be bent down like that, and John Leguizamo, like he was like, I mean, it was almost like a breaking point, and I think that was pretty cool. And actually, that leads me to another crazy fun fact. Jim Carrey. Speaking of Jim Carrey, The Grinch. I did not know that when he did those certain faces, that was actually his face, and I was like, that dude can contort his face like crazy. And another thing is, it took I think they said 10 to 12 hours each day to put on the makeup. I could be wrong on the numbers, but the thing is, that's a long time. And then if they film for like 7-8 hours a day, like Jim Carrey's literally up for a whole day. So they had to have shot, like one day, gave him a day off, and then next day. I was like, and Jim Carrey, that almost was he almost quit that movie too. So I think that's pretty crazy.
So I've got 2 fun facts for The Grinch since you brought it up.
Good.
I love that movie, first of all.
That is a great movie.
There are people who say they don't like it, and
You're
I don't.
You're an idiot!
I'm an idiot! You're an idiot!
No, the first funny. That's the best joke.
Oh!
Go ahead.
All right, fine. I'm not going to talk at all. I'm going to whisper, so by the time the sound bounces off the walls and gets back to me, I won't be able to hear it.
You're an idiot!
So the first fun fact is, the bit where he pulls the tablecloth off
I know this.
to make a dress?
Yeah.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
It worked perfectly.
He was supposed to pull the tablecloth off to mess everything up, but he did the trick. And so he ended up, and this was an ad-lib on his part, he ran back into frame and messed it all up and tipped the table. And they liked it so much. That's perfect. It's one of the best parts of the movie.
Those are the best when things happen in the movie and they leave it in. And
yeah.
I'm going to try to think of some of those. What was your second one?
So the second one, when he's coaching Max how to be a reindeer, and he goes off screen for a minute and then puts on a hat, he actually took that off of Ron Howard's head.
No!
Yeah, because that's his signature. That's his direct. So he takes it off and then does the bit where he's basically like...
acting like a director.
Well, he's poking fun at Ron Howard. And then, this is great.
Listen, Jim Carrey may have gone on a little crazy rants here and there, but the dude, I mean, he's getting older, so, I mean, minds come and go. But the thing is, the guy is a fantastic actor.
Oh, he's great.
And no one can disagree. Man, I can't stop burping. But I did not know that is a good fact.
I'm trying to think of any more, because that movie's full of a lot of little fun Easter eggs. I don't know why I find it so funny, the bit with the cat. When he's going through the houses and the cat attacks him like multiple times in multiple houses, but it's the same cat.
No.
Listen, that movie's... Did you know HBO Max is making a sequel to A Christmas Story?
Yes, and original original actors. Bill, what's his name?
I can't remember, but did you know that there was already a sequel? Well, technically there's 2 sequels.
Yeah, it's a summer story or something like that.
Yes, but there's also A Christmas Story 2, but a different cast.
There was?
Yeah, and I saw A Summer Story, and it's not as good as Christmas Story, but it's not that bad.
It had him in it.
Yeah, that Summer Story was
about
the
him
same
getting
cast.
his first car, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. A Summer Story was the same cast, but A Christmas Story 2 was a different cast.
Unless they're like poking fun at the original and making it a comedy, I don't see how they're going to make it.
It's going to be a comedy.
Well, I was just going to say, I don't know how they're going to make it relevant and anything today, because honestly, like, when I go back once a year, like everyone does, well, I mean, I don't know about you, I watch it at least once a year. It's a great movie.
Actually, last year I gave myself a task of watching from December 1st to December 25th, watching either a Christmas movie or a Christmas-themed episode of a TV show, and I did it.
I remember that.
So maybe I'll do it again this year. But if you have any suggestions, I mean, I filled the list out pretty good. I had to stretch for a couple of them, but Christmas Tree of Might was part of that, and Plot to Destroy Christmas. Thank you, Team 4-Star, DBZ Abridged.
I don't Jingle All the Way.
I didn't.
Turbo Man. That was a good movie.
I didn't care for it. Like, I'm not saying it's not awful,
Yeah.
but it just wasn't. It wasn't up there for me.
Well, I mean, it's just a funny Christmas movie. Now, The Santa Claus is a great movie.
Oh, that's a classic.
And supposedly, Tim Allen's working on a new one.
You know what? I hope so.
I hope so, too,
Because
Tim Allen's a great actor.
I was getting really tired of all these, like, rehashes, or, what would you call that? A revamp? Or reboot.
Reboot.
That's the word I'm thinking of. But, honestly, Top Gun Maverick gave me hope. Because that movie was fucking amazing. And it's better than Top Gun. I said it.
I mean, there are, like some movies that got lost in the ether. But the thing is, there were movies that had sequels like Tron. The original Tron, had Jeff Bridges and whoever else, I can't remember. And then the sequel, Tron Legacy, which I don't know if you've seen it. It was a freaking great movie, and it fell flat in the theaters. And I'm just like, it makes zero sense. And actually, I don't think, did it have Christian Haydenson in it?
I don't think so.
Was it him?
I don't know. I just know
No. Christian Haydenson played in 7th Street.
I think you mean Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, what was that? Vanishing on 7th Street. Or Vanishing on something street or something like that. That's a great movie, by the way, too. That has John Leguizamo in it. Here we go. We're going to do a little section in this. Movies you never heard of. There's a movie called Vanishing on, I think it's 7th Street, or...
I don't know about that one. I only know about the Miracle.
Anyway, so basically, the premise of the story is the main character... Well, one of the main characters, he is John Leguizamo. He is in a movie theater. He works there, and he's got a headlamp, like one of those things. And he's inside the reel working on the thing, and the lights go out, and then he's still got his headlamp on. When the lights come back on, Cell, like imagine Cell. There are clothes everywhere, and people are just missing.
Oh, okay.
And so the thing is, when the lights go out, like people just vanish, like and then their clothes hit the ground, like Cell, consume them. I'm not gonna say suck them up, but and it's a wild movie. Vanishing, I believe it's called Vanishing on 7th Street. But another fun movie that a lot of people haven't seen is called Sunshine, and Sunshine has one of my favorite actors in it, Cillian Murphy. And it's basically the sun is dying, so we plan 2 missions. The first one fails, and the second one, basically, they're going to the sun to send, I believe, their nuclear weapons into the core of the sun to basically reignite it, and because the Earth is pretty much freezing at this point. And so they're sending it there, and it's a fantastic movie. The cinematography is amazing, and the story is just really good. Like, yeah, it's out there, but the thing is, like, it's a wild movie. But Sunshine, check it out.
Yeah, that might be out there. But
it was only like it came out in like 2007. Like, a lot of people don't know about it.
You say that's out there, but then have you seen Armageddon?
Yeah, but that was a big budget with a lot of big names, and therefore got a lot of recognition. This was like a not big budget, and had Mark Strong in it. I love Mark Strong.
Mark Strong is good.
Especially him in Kingsman. Take me home. You've never seen Kingsman?
No, I've seen it. I fucking hated that movie.
Get out.
I hated that movie.
You know, the funny thing is, did you watch it in theater or did you watch it at home?
I watched it at home.
That's your problem. Did you know, in the theatrical release of Kingsman, and me and my wife love the joke, but the thing is, you remember at the end where he's getting ready to like bang the prince or princess or whatever, bang the princess, in the theatrical release in theaters. She said, if you save the world, you can fuck me in the
No,
ass.
I know. I saw that.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I've
It
never
wasn't on TV. It was.
I didn't see it anywhere else, but on the.
Yeah,
in
that's
the
why.
theatrical
That's why
release.
it gets down to her butt right before it cuts off the feed.
Yeah, and it's hilarious, you know. And I was like, and that's why British have bad teeth. I'm getting canceled for that one.
Wow. No, they're like, no, it's true, isn't it?
Have you fun movie that a lot of people I would hope have seen this movie because it's a really good movie. Ricky Gervais, the Invention of Lying. Have you ever seen that?
No, but you've told me about it. I need to watch it.
Great movie. At the beginning, Ricky Gervais's character's dad. He's a professional burglar. He's not really professional, but he gets caught by man. You never played the Portal games, did you? Okay. I can't remember his name. I don't think he was in Galaxy. Not Galaxy Quest, but what's the other one? It's something Galaxies. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Hitchhiker's Guide.
There's
to
a
the
big
Galaxy.
tall guy. He wears kind of thick Coke bottle glasses, and he's got a very thick accent. Well, anyway, he's going up with him, and where was I going with this?
I'm not sure.
So he's robbing him. I don't know. Anyway, the Invention of Lying is another great movie because Ricky Gervais, somehow the world evolved without anyone lying. Everyone tells the absolute crazy truth, and people are just like really mean. But he tells a lie one day because he figures out how to do it, and he only has like $300 in his bank account, and he tells the cashier that he has $800, and the cashier's like, "Oh, well, your thing only says $300. That's an error, sir. Let me get your $800." And he's like, "What?" And then he was able to pay his rent because if he wasn't able to pay his rent, he was going to get evicted. And then the guy was like, "You got your rent? No. Well, can I try? Well, you ain't got your rent. You got to get out." Anyway, so
that's
Invention of Lying, Ricky Gervais, great movie.
So I'm. Did you ever see a movie called Bushwhacked?
Daniel Stern?
Yes.
I've not seen it, but I know of it. I've seen I've seen the VHS tape a billion times, but I never rented it.
Quintessential 90s movie.
Rented. Something you kids don't know nothing about except for pressing a button and watching it online.
You know, that was a surreal experience. I had to explain to my 9-year-old nephew.
Oh, about renting?
Yeah. So it's what was it? He asked me randomly. He was like, Have you ever played Pokemon Stadium? I was like, oh, yeah. I mean, he's like, oh, do you have it? I'm like, no, I rented it all the time, not thinking. And he's like,
rented?
No, he has this just like legitimate clueless look on his face. He's like, what do you mean? And so I had to explain like the concept of a video store, and the look on his face, like, I think he legitimately thought I was full of shit.
He didn't know what it meant, or
like the concept of going to a place just to borrow movies and games.
You know what?
If you think about it, though, in the modern context, it sounds ridiculous.
Listen, here is a fun. I don't think I'm gonna say fun fact. This is a fact. Our parents spent more on renting games and renting movies than they did just to buy them. Because how many times, I know I always asked for a repeat movie a few times. I'm assuming you asked for a repeat movie. I'm assuming you asked for a repeat game.
Well, but you gotta remember though, the new releases were more expensive. The older movies were like dirt cheap to rent.
That's true.
Yeah.
It was like $3.99, $4.99 for like a new release, and then the other ones were like 99 cents.
If even. Like if you went to the dinkier places, new releases were like $2.50.
Man, the
kids movies were like 50 cents.
Nostalgia galore. Now I imagine everybody's towns were different and different cities and whatnot, but we had this West Side. Not West Side Connection. What was it? West Side Connection? Because that's one of Ice Cube's.
I thought it was just
groups.
West Side Video.
West Side Video. Thank you. West Side Video. Over what was that? Marsh Supermarket? No, it wasn't Marsh
Mr.
Supermarket.
T's, wasn't it?
No, it was not Mr. T's. It was
not the same Mr. T.
Like it was West Side Grocery or something like that.
Oh, not Mr. T. Mickey's T Mart. That's what it's called.
No, Mickey's T Mart had one behind it too. That was K and P.
That's right. That's the one. That's the one my dad always went.
Well, see, West Side Video, which good call. West Side Video, they had these little, the little things you screw into walls, and then it's like a hook, and it's got the little screw on it, and you hook it, and it had those little circle plastic pieces.
Yeah.
I just remember that as a kid, grabbing those things, and I was just so happy because that little piece of plastic was going to give me my favorite Nintendo game, which here's one. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. This is a game that is very rare. Well, it's not really super rare, but the thing is, people don't give this game credit because it was meant for toddlers. It's very easy to play, but it is so fun, and the 16-bit soundtrack is fantastic.
I remember those now. The little, I know exactly what you're talking about. Kind of ingenious, though.
Oh, I loved it because the thing is, instead of having a bunch of their cases out, saying you bring a case up, they just had one case and then
however many copies. Like, saved so much space so they could have more movies.
Yeah, it's wild. Now they're prehistoric.
Didn't the Family Video close, didn't it? Or is it still open?
No, it closed.
Yeah, Family Video. You stuck it out there for a while.
There was actually most Family Videos either turned into Dollar Generals, and at halftime they turn into a Dollar General and they have a Little Caesars pizza in them. Yep. We got two of them here.
I mean, I'll give credit where credit's due. They stuck it out. They really tried to make it stick, and
they really tried. They had a subscription and everything.
Yeah, and I kind of wish they had stuck around, but I think Redbox ultimately killed them.
Redbox and streaming. I think Redbox. Redbox is so cheap to operate because it doesn't cost anything but a little bit of electricity and just stocking those things every so often. Because you do have the older crowd. My wife's mom and dad, they still rent from Redbox. They even still rent DVDs. They don't. I mean, they have a Blu-ray player, but they still rent DVDs because it's cheaper. And I'm just like, I can't stand the quality. My wife, when we first got together, she did not understand the difference between 1080p and 4K. And, when she made the switch, she's like, wow. And I was like, yeah, dude, right? I was like, no, I'm sorry. Maybe it was between 720p and 1080p.
I think you're probably... So here's the thing. This is
2014. Would you say 720p to 1080p?
Oh, yeah, by then.
Okay, yeah, so that's a big jump.
Well, I mean, they jumped, but and
then we had 2K.
2010 was when they changed digital broadcast. I believe this is right. They changed digital broadcasting up to 1080p. Well, so, if you had the TV that could handle it.
Fun fact, you want to know a thing is about broadcast, a lot of them are actually 1080i.
That it is 1080i. You're right.
Yeah,
it's not 1080p.
And the thing is, that's interlaced. I believe so.
It's interlaced. P is progressive. So, for those of you that don't know the difference, I'll lay this out because this is my background. So I get the P versus the I. So on your old televisions, the way it worked is it wasn't a single whole frame. It would actually, go through every other line in an image, and it would happen. It would alternate, whereas with a progressive scan television, or video in this case, which pretty much all video now that's not broadcast is progressive. So it's like one image each time. So a lot of animation is produced in a progressive scan, but to basically make it broadcastable. So like in a movie theater, that would be a progressive scan because it's either a digital projection or an actual film projection, in which case every frame is shown.
And that's why they call them frames.
Yeah. But your progressive scan, which was your broadcast television, which I think to this day, if it's over the air, well, no, I even think broadcast is still, it might be, some programs are probably...
Most of them are progressive, but...
Well, but the funny thing is, though, because if you have an older TV that can't handle that, it will actually interlace it for you. So you probably wouldn't see a difference. Actually, the way to tell is to look at it with your phone camera. And if it's doing the moving line thing, that's interlaced.
Well, and the thing is, say you're watching an older show like Breaking Bad. When did it start? In 2005? 2008?
I think so. That sounds right.
2005. Okay, from 2005 to I believe 2010, like you were saying, those seasons. if you watch them on, I have an older CRT TV right here. If you watch those older episodes on this, it looks better than it does on a smart TV because of the progressive scan versus the interlaced.
So I wonder, we should make a short of that showing that.
Oh, showing the difference?
Yeah, with our phones though.
Oh, okay.
Could be fun.
Well, actually, we just do that.
You're right.
We don't have to do it here.
We'll use that TV and show it because that one will definitely interlace.
Yeah, and the funny thing is like CRT TVs. The funniest thing is what was the number one thing our parents said to us about playing video games and watching TV?
Don't sit too close.
Don't sit too close. But the funny thing is, like I know these they don't give off blue light like LCDs.
Like an LCD, no.
Now the thing is, like LCD will damage your eyes before this.
Before.
And kids nowadays who are having issues with their eyes, they're having issues with their eyes because of LCD screens and LED screens. Not these old TVs. And the thing is,
the cruel irony.
You do have contacts, but I've got perfect 20/20 vision.
Well, I've even found myself though. I've got a couple pairs of the blue light glasses that if I keep a pair around because I stare at a screen a lot, and I found that it will strain my eyes if I do it too long. So it's really, and I noticed a difference almost immediately. Just pop those bad boys on, and like it's a whole new world.
If you've got a constant headache and all you do is stare at a screen, that's your answer. Just get some blue light glasses or get a monitor with blue light protection because I actually...
Your monitor does have blue light protection, doesn't it?
I've noticed a fortune on that thing.
Well, but I noticed, though, it does have more of a red tint because that's the secret. That's how they work. They filter out some of the blue light. It's the same way a red...
It's 80%.
Yeah, but it's the same way a red lens will work. So, like, a lot of people who scuba dive and want to take video, they'll get a special lens, or now you can even get cameras that do this, that filters out a lot of the blue light so you get truer colors. Because if you just put a regular camera underwater, everything's like blue. And same with your eyes, too. So, and they even have, I guess they have goggles now that have the red. Yeah, so.
Because all it is a film.
Yeah, that's all it is. But it filters out a lot of the blue light. So you still see blue, but it's not all blue.
Yeah. It's wild.
Yeah.
Fun fact about your eyes, actually. You actually don't see in color. Your brain filters basically what's coming in, and it basically says this is this color. And that's why some people are colorblind because of could be from birth or or whatever, how they develop.
Sometimes it's a lack of cone in the eye.
Yeah,
and sometimes it's in the brain. It can vary.
There can be all kinds of there can be different things, but the funny thing is everyone sees in black and white in our brains, and I mean your brains give color.
It's half true because you do have cones in your eyes, but you see a color because your brain is telling you that's
the cone is a receptor.
Yeah, it's receiving the light wavelength, and different colors give off different wavelengths of light, so that's where it comes from.
Which, another fun fact, if anyone knows what strabismus is, my son has it, that's why I know exactly what it is. It's basically lazy eye, and everyone thinks that your muscle is weak in the eye, which is partly true, but the thing is, it's actually a brain-eye connection, and you can correct it without the surgery, which I'm not saying don't get the surgery because you might need it. But the thing is, if you're an adult and you can take care of all the things they tell you to do, like you have to do certain exercises, but like to a 3-year-old, like they were trying to operate on my 3-year-old's eye, and I was like, so I'm gonna have to explain to a 3-year-old that he needs to do these exercises, and he doesn't even like to put on pants. So no, and we went with a we were actually, I think we were, where were you talking about this last episode? So. Not strabismus, but who was it? What is Rand Paul?
Oh, he's an
ophthalmologist, and that's the specialist we needed to see for our son. Well, my son, not ours. We have a son, a love child. But yeah, so.
So here's another fun fact talking about the human eye and color. So, did you know? And I run into this all the time at work. It's true. I've read it from scientists, but I run into this all the time, so I can vouch for it. There's two things. So, first of all, women, on average, obviously, women do detect more colors than men do. That's a fact. So, like when you're,
why are they so hateful?
oh, listen. So when your wife
Just kidding.
so if you've ever been in the situation where your wife or girlfriend holds up two different paint colors to you and they look the fucking same to you,
Dude, all the fucking time.
here's the thing though. She sees two different colors. You don't. Because women's eyes and their brains, they actually detect more variations in color. So she's getting mad at you, but you literally can't see the difference. So hit her with this. And then here's another fun fact.
Story of my fucking life. You need to make that a short. And
Me too.
Senator.
Well, so here's the other part of that, flip side of that, another fun fact about color. So there are literally, because all color is different wavelengths in light, and this can fluctuate heavily. There are literally like an infinite number of different colors, but your brain, the human brain, cannot process all that at the same time. So if you ever do like color comparisons, it's very important to put something next to the colors that are going to be in the room with it, because it will affect how your brain sees it. The color doesn't change, your perception of it does. I run into this all the time in the cabinet world, because we have 12 different suppliers and all of them have a stark white, and every single one of those whites is different. And if you put it next to different colors, it will literally, I've seen them turn yellow, I've seen them turn gray, I've seen them turn...
One company's ran by a man, one's by a woman.
I mean, that's just the variations in paint colors, but literally, so you can change the color of something by, or at least how you perceive it, by going with a different paint color on the walls, changing the type of light bulbs that you have.
Well, that's the thing. If you paint a ceiling white and say something happens, you need to touch it up.
It's not gonna
sometimes you
match.
can't. It won't match.
It will never match.
That's different though. That's not really the essence of color. That's more along the lines of how it's soaked in. And well, actually,
it is kind of
actually it is color, because the thing is, you can never, any color you create in a can paint, you can never 100% replicate.
So here's another fun fact about color.
That's a lie. I just lied to you.
So
America. Actually, I don't know.
I don't know if this is 100% true, but I saw this on a nature show once. So don't quote me, but I
made
believe
a brownie once.
I believe this. So according to this nature show, the color that the human eye sees the most variety of is green. Meaning, basically, we can see of all the colors, the most of the different shades that we can perceive with our eyes is the color green. And they suspect this is because of like ancient humans being out in nature, you know, different color leaves, different color grasses, different color foliage. That kind of stuff.
Because the thing is, out in nature, when we were hunting and gathering, we had to know the colors of certain plants and whatnot, because some made us sick and some didn't.
We also would probably need to know when something was out of place or when something was dying versus being alive or dead.
Yeah. Or if you're green, you're sick. I'm just kidding. That was a good riff back.
Good little. Oh, so here's another interesting one. Now this is another fun fact. This is gonna make you roll your eyes if you're in any sort of artistic or printing profession. But did you know that the base color palettes for light and for printing are the opposite? So for light, you've got, I'll preface this. So when you're talking about light, when you add all the colors together, you get white. But when you're talking about like ink and pigment, if you add all the colors together, you get black. Boom. That's why in your printer, your color scheme is CMYK, which is cyan, magenta, yellow, and K is black for some reason.
I delivered to a printing company today.
But in light, like in digital media, you're RGB, red, green, blue. So your base colors are different, whether you're talking about light or you're talking about pigment. And everybody who's in any sort of artistic or graphics background was like, well, duh, no shit, Sherlock.
Okay, well, this doesn't have anything to do with that. But, fun fact, well, did you know that Tom Welling, when he didn't actually audition for Smallville, he was on the set build. No, I'm wrong. That's wrong. I'm sorry. No, that was Harrison Ford.
Hey, fun fact.
That was Harrison Ford.
Hey, fun fact. You're wrong.
Fun fact. That Harrison Ford, he was building sets for Star Wars, and they wanted to cast him.
Not true.
Is that not true?
That is not true. So why Harrison Ford got the role of Han Solo is because he had worked with George Lucas previously on American Graffiti, and Lucas had a policy of not working with the same actors over and over again. So, but he asked Harrison Ford to come in and read with other people in the casting process, and they just liked him as Han so much. Now, I don't think you're totally wrong, because I think that's how he got American Graffiti, actually, because I think he was building sets for somebody. I can't remember.
I fucked that all up.
I know that that's true about Han Solo, but I'm not sure about the building sets. I know he was in construction prior, though, so that wouldn't surprise me. I saw that in a Star Wars documentary, though, so if it is bullshit, then don't blame me. Blame George Lucas, because that's what he said. Listen, did you know that Star Wars started sucking literally as soon as George Lucas sold the rights to it?
Damn. I was wrong. I mean, I knew I was wrong, but... Yeah, George Lucas should have just kept it. But honestly, like, I didn't really care for the newer... I don't know. Like, you guys were bigger fans of Star Wars. Well, I don't know about you. You were more Star Wars. Or Star Trek. Which I love Star Trek.
Star Trek's the shit.
And even the movies I liked.
A lot of them are good. Some of them
are
dog
they weren't
shit,
bad. Who's the actor who plays in the... He's a Chris, right?
Oh, the 2009?
Yeah.
Chris Pine.
Chris Pine, thank you.
So
he was those were good movies. I enjoyed them.
Only the first one. The other two were dog shit.
Actually, come to think of it. I'm giving her all she's got, Captain. So the kid in the newer ones, his I gotta look up his name. Hold on.
Chekhov?
Yeah, well, his actual actor name. Hold on. Which,
by
the way, have you ever seen a movie called Odd Thomas?
I want to say I have like a long time ago.
But the thing is, Odd Thomas had him in it, and that was a great freaking movie. Let me see. What's his name? I cannot remember his name. Anton Yelchin. I don't know how to
I don't know.
Yelchin. Anyway, Anton, I'm not trying to laugh, but the thing is, I believe he was either working on his vehicle or something like that, and it was not in park, and it rolled backwards and killed him.
That sucks.
Yeah, and the thing is, he was starting to become like a really good actor. Honestly, he reminds me of Spider-Man Tom Holland.
A little bit.
Yeah, but the thing is, Odd Thomas though, it's a great movie, and if they would have gone on to make more of those, it would have been really good. Like, I think he died shortly after it was released, or maybe it was filmed or something. I could be wrong, but it was just so wild. It's kind of like no, it's not kind of like, but The Frighteners, man, with Shaky Jones. What's his name?
Shaky Jones? Are you talking about Michael J. Fox?
Michael J. Fox.
Wow!
Shaky Jones. Shaky Bones. So, yeah, The Frighteners. That's another great movie.
Oh, yeah, that is Michael J. Fox. I know that.
You need to watch. There's so many movies you haven't seen.
There's so many movies a lot of people haven't seen.
I don't know how I've seen this many movies and still have kids and have had a life.
It's because we had video rental stores in our youth.
Well, it's also because I was an insomniac for like 30 years of my life, and for some reason, for the past year, I am a sleeper now. I literally sleep like 10 to 12 hours.
You used to. I remember when we were younger, I would always nod off first.
Dude, I would be the last one to fall asleep and the first one to wake up. And yet you had all this energy all the time. And I I contribute the fact of getting older, obviously, but also being fat right now because I need to lose like about 50 pounds.
Yeah,
and I'll be much
that.
healthier. But I fear for my wife and family if I lose that weight because then I will never shut up. I will never sit down.
Your wife's going to come to the kitchen at like 3 a.m. to get a drink or something. You're going to be down there and it's like, the secret of the universe is it's 42. It's 42. You stupid fuck. 42.
42. No, not a crackhead. Just very, very white.
Just be in there and be like, just be like, hey, did you know this about dolphins?
Did you know they use echolocation?
I did. You'll just be like, did you know they took the dolphin trainer scene out of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective?
Did you know fish can hear you thinking just before you sneeze? The Walking Talking Dead. I think I showed you a video of that.
Yes.
The Walking Talking Dead. Those videos were great. Oh, there was walkers on the edge of the fence, and they're just hanging on. They're trying to get in, and they're singing. They're like, oh yeah. It's so funny. And then Carl Papa. Carl Papa. Coral.
I'm not ashamed to admit, I watched that episode as it premiered. Like, I'm watching it live on television, and I just busted out laughing. That was so unintentionally funny.
What season did you get to? Like 2 or 3?
No, I got further than that.
Did you stop when Glenn got killed?
No.
People like that.
I didn't make a conscious effort to stop. I just got
got busy and then
I got divorced.
Oh, well, now I was
I
gonna
got
say,
busy.
everyone like that I've heard, they're like, I stopped watching the show because Glenn died, and I'm like, it was gonna happen in the comics.
That's when it ramped up for me.
And then Glenn Rhee, I'm sorry, not Glenn Rhee, but I can't remember.
Stephen Yee.
Stephen Yeun. Stephen Yeun. He basically, I think he was done with the character. He didn't want to do it anymore because, and then they killed him off, and he got killed off in a pretty brutal way, but it was awesome. you know.
Here's a good one. Fun fact about Stephen Yeun. You don't watch Big Bang Theory, do you?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so anyway,
I've seen.
Yeah.
Stuff.
There's an episode of The Big Bang Theory where they do a flashback where Leonard first becomes Sheldon's roommate, and as Leonard walks in the building, Sheldon's Sheldon's ex-roommate is leaving, and it's Stephen Yeun. And he tells him, he's like, run away, dude. That's what Stephen Yeun says to him when he says, oh, I'm here to, for the roommate. Run away, dude.
This isn't really a fun fact, but Stephen Yeun actually played in the most recent Jordan Peele movie that you didn't want to go watch with me. Nope.
Yeah, he asked if
I asked him if he wanted to go. He said nope. It was a terrible movie, but it was kind of fun.
So here's another hot take, and this might legitimately piss off the internet. I do not like Jordan Peele.
Oh, I dislike him too.
I think he's a hateful racist who thinks he's a great writer and he's not, which is really painful for me because I love Keegan-Michael Key.
He's hilarious.
I fucking love him. Now, Jordan Peele is an actor. Fine, great, funny. Some of their sketches are fucking hilarious.
Who's the one guy who does the bit outside the White House and he's like, let me in. I
don't remember. I don't know. I've seen
hilarious. I don't know. Everyone used that as a meme, and it was like the greatest thing ever. And it's like, when it says like, when you're trying to, like, one of the memes was when you're trying to sneak snacks in your bedroom while your toddler's outside the door, and they're like, let me in.
Whoa.
The echo.
But yeah, just shitting on Jordan Peele some more. The first movie of his I saw was Us, and that movie was so bad that I now refuse to watch anything he does because
I didn't hate it.
It was fucking awful.
It was
made no sense.
Unintentionally funny, like the Batman. Like in the middle of the night, when the dude's standing there and the other dude just like and gets right next to him and then turns the other way. Dude, I laughed so hard at that.
Here's the thing about
But then the idea of them like changing, like, like basically it didn't make any sense because I was like,
that's the thing. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, because, they're saying it was a scientific thing, but yet the person still exists in there, and it's more like a hypnosis thing. And it's like, you can't transfer consciousness or the soul, if either one exists. I mean, consciousness exists, but we don't know if the soul
like
exists.
here's the reason why
Can't transfer it.
There's two reasons why this movie sucked. One, they have to be the dumbest, particularly the dad, the husband, has to be the dumbest motherfucker on planet Earth. Like, he's just stupid. Like, how they all lived, I'll never know, because they all should have been killed. I mean, if that had been Michael Myers, that movie would have been 5 minutes long.
Listen though, the woman that he was with, she played a damn good character because she acted like she was on his side the entire time. She did not. She convinced everyone that she was on his side.
It doesn't. Okay, but
the movie's terrible. Don't get me wrong.
But here's why it doesn't make sense. Because how old was she when they got switched? Spoiler alert. Like, what, 5? I'm trying to remember. Like, she was very young when they switched. Like, she met her double in the fun house, and that's when they switched.
Apparently, I didn't watch that part.
Oh, yeah.
So that wasn't even her?
No.
Technically?
The original one was the fucking one who came from the underground, but she couldn't talk. But when they switched...
And weren't they, like, growing bodies at one point? Or
I think. I don't know. And I remember the opening credits having, like, a bunch of rabbits and shit. And I'm like, what's up with the rabbits? Like, I'm thinking this is going to be important. It's apparently what they eat. Why rabbits? Why don't you grow chickens, you dumb fucks?
I mean, apparently a lot of people like rabbits.
What did Jordan Peele think that chickens would be racist or something? Like, there were white people down there, too.
I don't know.
And fucking white people like chicken and eggs, too. You get double the food in one animal. That's why.
Fun fact. Did you know that if you put sugar on a cucumber, it tastes like watermelon?
Why would you do such a thing?
I don't know. It's weird. But people are doing it, and apparently it's a big rave. They say it tastes like watermelon. And I'm saying it's a fun fact because the thing I saw it, and it seemed fact. Sure.
And then what was the other thing? So, and like, going back to Us, because this movie makes no fucking sense, why is the little kid, like the little boy's double, like a fucking animal? The other ones are, like, it doesn't make sense.
No, that was pretty terrible.
The whole movie just was
I love it how, like, when you're watching, like, people talk about it, like, I was legitimately scared. I was like, I was fucking confused.
I was confused.
And I'm like, this is stupid.
I was either confused or laughing my ass off because it was unintentionally hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, when he beat when he's got his double in the bag and he's just beating the shit out of it. It's like, it's not supposed to be funny, but it was funny. I got 2 fun facts that are gonna...
Good, because I got one after.
That is gonna make me look stupid. Did you know that there is actually a dark side of the moon? Because when the moon orbits, the gravitational pull of Earth keeps it... They spin at the same... No, I'm fucking this up.
No, you're correct.
But they don't spin at the same...
They spin simultaneously.
Okay, well...
So therefore, the Earth and the Moon always see the same side of each other.
Okay, that's it. Yes, that's right.
Is it? No.
No, it keeps it locked.
No. The way the Earth spins, it sees all of the Earth, but the Moon its orbit. We only ever the way it rotates. Like we only ever
its
see. Its
orbit locks it.
Yeah, we never see the dark side.
Yeah, that's right. And and there are people out there on the internet who think that the Moon spins on its own axis so that there is no dark side of the moon, but turns out these people are idiots and should be called out on the internet.
It's okay. That's a very easy one to misconstrue.
That is so funny to me because the minute I read that comment, I got a flash of the Paul Rudd scene from Role Models when he's like, "It's called the Venti because it's 20 ounces," and he's just like, "Is that true?"
Listen, fun fact. And this is actually backed up by scientists right now. But you 35?
Yeah.
Okay, we're 35 years old, and for our entire life, is it Saturn? Saturn have rings?
Yeah.
Saturn has rings, but yet they are dissipating so fast that within our lifetime, the rings from Saturn are going to be gone.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't know it was that fast.
Saturn actually is a the I'm not going to say the purpose of Saturn in our universe, but Saturn was like a catch-all for stray asteroids, and they would collect in that belt. And so actually that seems very dangerous for us, because the thing is, if it's not catching new asteroids, they're going to come in.
It's mostly dust, though, for Saturn. But there's another planet with rings, too.
Well, the reason it's dust is because they get in there and, and spins and crushes them. It's kind of scary, though.
Yeah.
They say we will end.
I'm really not worried about it, because, like,
I don't know what the hell exists. We don't even live on Earth. This is the firmament, or this is a simulation.
So this is actually a fun fact, and it kind of ties back into Star Wars. You know when it's episode 4, but the first Star Wars movie, when Han is saying they have to make all these calculations to go into light speed or they might run into something. It's actually the opposite is true. Like, if you were to jump to light speed like that, you really, on a balance of probabilities, wouldn't have to make any calculations, because the likelihood of you running into something in open space is virtually zero.
Well, and also, technically, if you're moving at the speed of light, technically, wouldn't you assume that you're breaking down into light? So therefore, you would
physically, yes, they're actually traveling faster than light and still somehow maintaining their solid speed, which we're not going to get into the physics of it. But
because it's kind of like instant transmission. He breaks down into light,
which
and travels
that's pretty
at
funny.
186,000 miles per second, but yet he's able to instantly travel. So the thing is,
it's relatively instantly, though.
Instant transmission is the American dub.
Yeah, what is the Japanese technique? Because I bet you it's not the same thing.
Instantaneous movement, I believe.
So it's not actually traveling at the speed of light. He is literally teleporting.
Yeah, I believe. I don't know if that's I'll have to look up the subs, but the thing is, I'm pretty sure that was just an American thing. Saying he breaks down at the speed of light and travels. But because the funny thing is, Dragon Ball Z reference. Did you know that the Kais, they have instantaneous movement, and Goku and whoever learned it from the Yardrats, they have instant transmission. This is according to the English dub. But the thing is, Kais can only travel to... No, they can travel anywhere. It doesn't matter. They don't have to lock onto a person's energy. So they can go anywhere throughout space, time. Can they move through? Can Kaiser move through time?
Only when they use the time rings.
Oh, that's right. See, but yeah, so they can move throughout anywhere in the universe because they know where all the planets are, and they can move to that planet. But Goku or anyone who uses the Yardrat instant transmission, they have to lock onto an energy signature.
I don't think that's true. I think Goku uses people's energy to figure out where to go, but I think he can, if he knows where a place is.
Well, the thing is, he doesn't have the knowledge that the Kais do.
Yeah.
So he has.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, if he wanted to transport to like Kame House,
You're correct.
Example,
yeah,
because he knows where Kame House is.
Mm-hmm.
Which kind of begs the question, why does he fly anywhere anymore?
Someone stole my favorite reading glasses!
Oh my god, so this is a moment I absolutely hated in the English dub of Dragon Ball Super, and I hate it with such a passion because it's so fucking stupid, and I blame Sham Schimmel for this. During the filler... it is a filler episode. During the filler episode where the aliens come down to basically like honor Hercule because he defeated Majin Buu, right? Or Mr. Satan. Because he defeated Majin Buu, and
are you talking in Super?
Yeah, in Super.
Okay.
It's the episode where Goku's having trouble controlling his energy, or I think he's going shopping. Essentially, he has to go get groceries, and the bit is Mr. Satan stages a fight with them, and he does the punch, and Goku like flies.
He grabs his tractor.
But fucking in the Japanese dub, Goku says nothing. And it's much funnier because it's more subtle. It's a ghost. Like, shut up! Well, no, but so in the Japanese dub, he goes...
You didn't think that was funny when he's like, oh!
No, that was funny, but then he goes, I forgot my tractor.
That was hilarious.
No, it's not. It's so fucking
that
stupid.
Was funny.
The Japanese version was way funnier because
though, the Japanese version, when we first watched it, like, that was my first time experiencing the Japanese dub, like, versus, like, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball, and we shall not be named Dragon Ball GT.
You don't want to talk about Dragon Ball Good Times?
No. Dragon Ball GT
Hey.
was just a continuance, and I was appreciative of it, and it had some good things to it. Like Super Saiyan 4 was really cool.
I'm going to give you a controversial hot take, not to interrupt you, but I still maintain that the Baby Saga is
It was
not
saga.
only the best saga in GT, it's one of the better sagas in all of Dragon Ball. That shit was good. I'm not saying it's the best. It's not
better.
the best.
Okay,
It's one of the better arcs because like
the
for
Dragon
example-
Saga was good.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Like I like the story. I mean, I like the story of the dragons, but like how it happened was just silly because nowadays you have Bulma wishing for a bigger ass.
Well, that was kind of the point.
And what she took off 5 years of her life or something like that, or no, she didn't even ask to just be. She didn't ask for her youth returned. All she has to do is just ask for her youth returned.
And we know that that can be done.
Yeah, because
Lots of
Lord
people have done
Slug,
it. Lord Slug, King Piccolo.
which by the way,
That might be the best
Lord
saga.
Slug, dude, the movie. Do you remember that drawing I made?
Yes.
Back when we were kids?
Yes, I do.
I don't know where it is. And that was like hands down one of the best drawings I've ever done in my entire life. And honestly, like I'm not really an artist, but like out of all our friend groups, I
We did some pretty sweet.
held that pick up and everybody was like, wow.
We did some pretty sweet Dragon Ball fan art back in the day. But have you seen the DBZ abridged?
I didn't even know how to shade and it was perfect.
Have you seen the DBZ abridged version of Lord Slug?
No.
Oh, it's so funny because the bit they do before Lord Slug becomes young again, he's so old he can't talk. So, somebody has to translate for it. It's fucking great.
He said, "Get off my planet."
And then Piccolo does this great bit. You remember the fat dude with wings, right?
Mhm.
And when they're fighting, they do the scene where they're in the building, and then Piccolo knocks him out of the building on the second floor, and then he runs back in, and he's going to try to sneak up on him.
You know what I just thought of?
What?
You know why we're not getting many views? Well, actually, you don't know why.
Because it's on news and politics.
It's on news and politics.
Okay, so
change
what?
it up. Continue your thing.
So, you remember that scene though? In the DBZ abridged version, they loop that bit like 6 times.
It's on entertainment.
Oh, that's weird. They loop that bit around like 6 times, and he's like, "Okay, this time I'm gonna go for the leg." And then he comes back in, and he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just waiting for that guy." Cool. Oh, damn it. Oh God, then they do. This is so dumb, but I love it. It's great. It's after Lord Slug gets big and Piccolo rips his own ears off and tells Gohan to whistle. But they do the after he rips his ears off, Gohan's like, "What do you want me to do?" "What?" It's great.
Damn, man, I'm missing out.
Oh, dude, if nothing else, watch the movies. Although the series is great, I fucking
It is.
love
It's just so much to watch.
It's really not though. They're really short. Like, have you watched Christmas Tree of Might?
But it's like 7 minutes per episode.
No, they're a little bit longer, but
Yeah, like 7 to 10. Just imagine 10 minutes times.
it doesn't take that long,
Two-
and it's worth it because it
Did
doesn't.
they dub every episode? Not every episode, but like most, or do they like take a few episodes and put it together?
They remove almost all filler, for example, and then they jam some events together.
Okay.
So it is very much an abridged series, but they lean heavy into the comedy. But oh my God, Christmas Tree of Might. They actually come up. Turles is like obsessed in that version. He's obsessed with destroying Christmas, right? And it shouldn't work, but it does. And what does he do? Like, he speaks in rhymes almost the whole time. It's fucking great. And then his henchmen are the island, or the misfit. Oh God, what are they? They're all ex-mall Santas who did something bad. And then at one point he's like, and he did something even worse. What did you? I raped Rudolph. What? And then that's the guy that Krillin has to fight. Oh God, it's so funny. And then in Tree of Might originally, Goku was able to absorb the energy, and it appears as light. But in that one, they have an outline of Santa. He's like, Goku, you have to stop him. I love DBZ Abridged Goku because he's such a fucking idiot, and I love it.
I mean, I'm so glad that they started making Goku more to be an idiot.
I like that, though. Oh, the best bit, and I forgot about this because Team 4-Star is going through and doing, like, commentary, and they're doing, like, 2 episodes at a time. I mean, they're not doing the whole episode, but there's so many great bits. But I love that. And it's such the epitome of the DBZA Goku version because King Kai's telling him, is like, this is Frieza. Don't fight him. He's like, oh, I'm going to beat him up. Goku, I said not to fight him. I know. I'm still going to beat him up. Oh, God. And then their bits with Zarbon, fucking hilarious.
All right.
Because I love it.
I'm just going to start at the very beginning and just go through it all.
Now, I will say the first season's not, like, you'll find it funny, but it gets funnier as you go. But I love the bit. Frieza's talking to Captain Ginyu on the space Skype, right? And Zarbon's like, Lord Frieza, I need to use the space Skype. I need to call my girlfriend. Is that Ginyu? I'll call you back. What did you say? Well, all this time I thought you were... What? You thought I was single?
I already know.
But then it's great, though, because that's when Vegeta comes in and makes him, like, wreaks havoc to steal it. And then he's still on the line with the Ginyu Force, right? And so he's like, Lord Frieza, he's really giving us a pounding. He's like, I'll be right there. Quick, Saban, grab my balls. But then you hear all the members of the Ginyu Force just start cracking up. It's fucking great. And the fight with Raccoon, Vegeta, Krillin, and
Raccoon, boom.
They do a WrestleMania parody with it.
Oh.
Namekamania, and then Jason Berter are doing commentary the whole time, and they do instant replays. It's fucking great because they're all acting like pro wrestlers. It's fucking hilarious.
It's perfect.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah, you'll watch. And then there's some things they do that they actually do better than the series. Like, for example, the reveal of Cell. They do it so much better. Like, it's so much creepier. Because it's dead silence and all you see is the clothes. And then, like, and Takahata 101, who does the voice for Cell, in all forms, mind you, and they're all different. It's fucking genius. He starts singing this really creepy-ass rendition of Mr. Sandman.
Mr. Sandman.
No, but he's like, Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream.
Did he do the Imperfect Cell?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then, but it's...
I got a fun fact about him.
I was just going to say, Cell is probably my favorite character in DBZ Abridged because, like, he's nothing but a walking innuendo. I fucking love it because he first meets Piccolo, and then he's like, what does he do? He's like, you want to see something cool? And that's when he drinks he's like, want to see me drink this guy? And then the next episode, he's like, oh, we've had so much fun. Remember that time I drank that guy? That was fucking weird.
Who did you say voiced him?
Takahata 101. That's his...
Oh, in Abridged.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say because the guy who played Cell, voice acted Cell for the series was Damian Clark. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if he voiced Imperfect Cell, but he voiced Perfect Cell. And the funny thing is... Supernatural fans, did you know that Damian Clark, he played... Well, he actually does many voice acting gigs. He plays Cell, Perfect Cell to my knowledge, in Dragon Ball and not Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball Z and beyond. But he played a... what was the type of monster? He played a monster on Supernatural, and he basically almost ate his wife. And he basically started out, he was eating a lot of meat, and then he started eating raw meat, like out of the fridge, and then all of a sudden he wanted to go for lawn pig.
See, that seems like intentional casting.
Well, and it was funny because I was like, oh, I had no idea that was Cell, and like when he does the voice, I can't do Cell's voice, but I mean, I can try, but
I love it so much because then when he and
Thanks
Goku,
for the energy.
well, when he and Goku fight during the Cell games, like whenever they talk, it's like they're flirting with each other, but it's so funny because he's like, "So you're going to punch me or just keep staring into my eyes?" Sorry, I didn't hear you. I was busy staring into your eyes. Oh, you beautiful Saiyan son of a bitch, just hit me. It's fucking great.
That reminds me of bench warmers. Yeah, punch me in the face. Pour some honey on my chest. Let's get real nasty. And when the baseball hits the dude's nacho.
No. What is it? What are you gonna do? Punch me in the face? Pour some honey on me. Let me see you get really mad.
Yeah, that's it. That's a great movie too.
It's such a great movie. It's such a stupid movie, but that's the thing too. So like, and then some of the other things that like Tien gets a really badass moment in DBZ Abridged that does it better than the Japanese version, any of the English versions.
They probably knew that and they went.
Well, yeah, they have 20 years of hindsight. So like, I'm not, but it's a really badass
Tien
moment.
deserved it.
That's what I'm saying, and it's played purely serious. But they still managed to get some comedy in there because Tien's whole bit is he's the guy who just doesn't give a fuck. So I love it. He does the Kikoho, and it pisses Cell off.
Tri-beam cannon for anybody who doesn't.
Yeah,
know
the
what I'm talking
tri-beam. But I love that because after he runs out
or
of
the
it,
soul cannon.
yeah. Well, that's what he's doing because it's the one that he taps into his life force. That's why.
No, that's what in the I believe in the translations it's soul cannon. Because
Probably.
I was
Kiko.
I don't know for certain if that's 100% factual, but I was watching it with subtitles. I was watching the English version, but I was watching it with Japanese subtitles because and then instead of listening to the Japanese voices, I hear what they're saying, but I read what the Japanese dub is saying.
But so after he runs out of energy, it's funny. He's like, not dead yet. That's weird. Oh, here we go. And then Cell comes out of the hole. He's like, Kikoho is a very bad choice of last words. But to be fair, it's far from the worst decision you've made today. And then he just goes, Kiko, fuck yourself. And then when they come to the Cell games, Cell's like saying hi to everybody. He's like, oh, hello, Goku and Gohan and Krillin and Yamcha. Tenshinhan. Kiko, how you doing? It's fucking great. And then he and Vegeta have this whole thing where Tien just gives him sass all the time. And I love it because what does he say? He's making fun of him. He's like, if Kakarot has ascended, I'll ascend even further. He's like, if he becomes a Super Saiyan, I'll become a Super Duper Saiyan. He's like, so what? You're going to become a Mega Saiyan?
That was the worst part. And honestly, Dragon Ball Z has some of the most, I'm going to say, toxic fans because they're so silly about things. That they were trying to say that there are different upgrades. What do they call them? Super Saiyan 2, but instead of it just being simple, just saying Super Saiyan 2, they were trying to like give tiers to Super Saiyan before Super Saiyan 2, and I was like, it's Super Saiyan. He's just more powerful. Like, there's no difference. And I was like, Super Saiyan 2. And I was like, if you want to get down to it, there's no difference between any of them. It's just longer hair.
I mean, basically, yeah.
You know?
So, not to keep quoting it, but when you remember when Trunks gets his, like, beefy form, right? Mm-hmm. And then Cell's, like, explaining to him what he's doing, like he knows.
I can pump up my muscles.
DBZ Bridge does it better because he's like, anybody can do it. Watch. And he does it. He's like, look, it's me, Dad. Aren't you proud? See? Anybody. Oh, God. And then, jeez, it's so funny. It's so great. And then, like, when Trunks blasts Vegeta away, right, to keep him from letting Cell absorb 18, mm-hmm. and Vegeta, like, it cuts to Vegeta in the ocean. He's like, wasn't expecting that. Kind of makes me proud. And then he wipes his face and sees the blood. He's like, unfortunately, it's being replaced by all this unyielding rage. Vegeta is like a gem in that show. He is so hilarious. My favorite thing is after Piccolo absorbs Kami, they do a bit where Vegeta's out in the open. He's like, okay, what the hell is going on? Is that the Namekian? Is that me? Because he's sensing Cell. Is that me stronger than me? I'll fucking kill me! And then he goes up to Piccolo. He's like, Namekian, too strong. Explain. It's like he fused with Kami. The fuck's a Kami? Basically God, but I'm still here.
Listen, we have these. I soon will have somewhat of an empty room. We're going to set up a recording booth, and we're going to do some voice acting work. I think we could do it, and I'm not talking just like Dragon Ball or whatnot. I seriously thought this. Everybody's done it, but the thing is, like, we can watch something, mute it, and add our voices.
Just overdub it.
Walking Talking Dead. I'm sorry, like Walking Tacos. We can do it, and honestly, I've got some freaking great ideas, and it's gonna happen.
Fuck it, I'm down.
You know, like. We have the technology. And it's going on 2 hours. Let's wrap this bitch up.
I got one more. This isn't so much a fun fact, but it's kind of a point of shame for me. I'm over here thinking...
He's trans. Just kidding.
Well, I'm over here thinking that there's...
A big old fat pussy.
I'm over here thinking that there are...
Shit, I was trying to start the car. I'm sorry. You can finish.
I'm over here for years thinking that there are only 2 Halloween timelines. Like for the Halloween franchise.
Oh, I don't know nothing about it.
Turns out there's 5.
Timelines.
So, okay. So, first I'll start with the completely separate. You got Halloween 3, which is in its own universe. And then you've got the Rob Zombie Halloweens, which are their own bit.
Okay.
But there are 3 timelines and like...
So different directors...
Well, some of them have different directions. So here's basically the concept. So... You've got the original Halloween, which connects all of them. But in the original timeline, you've got Halloween, Halloween 2, and then you go into the Thorn trilogy, which is Halloween 4, 5, and 6. And that's when it's all the cult thing, the Cult of Thorn.
Halloween 3, what was that?
Season of the Witch. Yeah, that's separate. That's no Michael Myers.
Yeah.
That's its own thing.
It made no sense why they called it Halloween.
Yeah, but then you've got the 20-year timeline, which is Halloween 1, and then Halloween H2O, and then Halloween Resurrection, I think. Yeah. And then there's one more after that, I thought.
Where does Halloween Ends fall into place?
So that's the 40-year timeline. So that's Halloween 1, 1978, all the way down to Halloween 2018, then Halloween Kills, then Halloween Ends. But I hear that trilogy is actually quite good. I haven't seen any of them yet, but I've heard that Halloween Kills is like it's okay, but it's not. So, but I'm also weird because I love Curse of Michael Myers. I know a lot of people hate that movie, but I think Paul Rudd is unintentionally hilarious in that movie as Tommy Doyle because he's just like his delivery is so hammy, but I love it.
Paul Rudd's a great actor,
but he's not trying to be funny. That's the thing.
He just is.
Well, actually, I take that back. I think Paul Rudd is trying to be funny, but I don't think the director wants him to be funny.
Dude, Paul Rudd in Forgetting Sarah Marshall was so funny.
Paul Rudd in anything.
No, but when Albus Snow, what's his name? Russell Brand.
Oh, yeah.
When he's talking when he's like, he's got a cut in his leg, and he's like, I'm bleeding here. And he's like, you sound like you're from London. and he's like, he's bleeding from his leg, and he's just like, okay, get something, okay.
There's a great outtake from the movie Have you seen Role Models?
Yes, that was a great movie. Him and Sean William Scott, right?
Yeah. So you know the bit when they're at the lair thing, and then I forget the actor's name, but his name in the movie is Kuzik, the guy who's like really hamming it up.
It's not Fogel.
No, it's Fogel's friend, the older guy who's in his like little club, the Xanthia guy.
Oh, okay.
And he's always just like, art thou preparing for the battle royale? But there's the moment in there when they're doing this thing after Paul Rudd's like, oh yeah, his name's Lunesta, because I send my enemies to their eternal resting place. And he's just like, to sleep perchance to dream. And then they all leave and he goes, rub-a-dub-dub. There's an outtake where that happened and they cut it at the perfect time because Paul Rudd loses his shit right there because that was an ad lib. He just goes, rub-a-dub-dub. And then Paul Rudd like turns and goes to his knees. Because it's so fucking funny. And everybody on like the behind the scenes are like, guys, they were like, God damn it, it's so funny, but it's so frustrating because I just can't hold it together. Because he's just so fucking funny. And then the bit with Jane Lynch in the gas station with Sean William Scott's character, where she's like, and she's doing the thing with like the hot dog. That was an ad lib apparently. And everybody's fucking dying when she's doing it. That's why it's like a close-up of her, because she's just like, what does that look like? And apparently everybody's just like... That movie's underrated. The movie's so fucking funny. I was not ready. That's one of the rare times where I've been watching a movie and a joke hits and I'm not prepared for it. And I have to pause the movie because I'm laughing so fucking hard. It's the one where they just met their kids. Paul Rudd is like, it's like, yeah, well, fuck, look at my kid. I bet if I suggested a game of Quidditch, he'd come in his pants. I'm like sore gut laughing because I'm so not ready for that joke.
Didn't he have McLovin?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then old boy had the little kid.
Yeah, the little kid.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
God, it's so fucking funny.
The little kid, the way he was talking, like he was such a potty
I love it. It's like, I want to take my pants off. What? I got my own hang down to grab kid. Honky hang down. That's right. It's like, honky, that's racist.
What's it downstairs?
I ate a brownie once.
That's an underrated movie. It didn't get as much love. Without a Paddle, that was a great movie.
Oh, that's a great movie. And then another Paul Rudd, I'm pretty sure this was an ad lib, when he's like, there's a nation at war, are you in? I am too. Because it's almost like it came to him after. He's like, I am too.
So that's the thing, man. When you have comedians starring in movies, let them do what they do. Because they will make movies so much better. That was like...
that goes for comedians, but that doesn't go for actors. So this isn't really an unknown fact, but for those of you who don't know, Back to the Future, Michael J. Fox was not originally the actor to play Marty McFly.
No.
And Eric Stoltz was apparently... And great actor, just did not fit this part. Apparently, he was like...
It would have been a serious movie.
Well, it was never going to be a serious... That's why it didn't work. It was never going to be a serious movie, but he was trying to make it serious.
Eric Stoltz?
Yeah, Eric Stoltz. Eric Stoltz? But, however, there is a scene where he is still in the movie.
Get him Christmas meat.
I thought I wasn't going to laugh. Meat! Get you a nice Christmas meat! I trust my barber.
Are you kidding?
Freelance! Best thing for a guy your age.
Are you serious?
Bring me more photos. He's so funny.
Have you... Okay.
Oh,
before you leave, I got to show you a video, and you're going to laugh your ass off. But anyway.
But so here is the fun fact. Here is a fun fact for Back to the Future fans, which you probably know this already, but there is one scene that's confirmed. There's another scene that's speculated. It might be Eric Stoltz, but there's one scene that is confirmed that Eric Stoltz is still in... No, there are two. I'm sorry. There's one scene where he's driving the DeLorean.
Confirmed?
Confirmed, yes.
Okay.
Oh, no, that's the one that's speculated. It's speculated there's a scene where Eric Stoltz is driving the DeLorean after he's running away from the Libyans. The one that is confirmed in the cafe when Marty punches Biff, when he says, look there, obviously that's Michael J. Fox, but the fist that's coming across, that's Eric Stoltz. And actually, it's funny, the actor who played Biff apparently does stand-up comedy occasionally, and he wrote a song, and it's answering all the questions he gets asked all the time since he played Biff. It's so fucking funny.
What do you mean? The way he spoke.
Oh my god, he's such a gem. And here's the thing. That dude seems, from what I understand, he's like a super nice guy, and all the assholes in movies and TV are really, really nice people.
Fun fact, Johnny Lawrence from Cobra Kai, what is his actor's name?
William Zabka.
William Zabka has always played the villain in most movies and TV shows or whatever he started. And so, like, him getting his just due in Cobra Kai was well deserved. And honestly, he even said that he would have loved to play a good guy. But they didn't give him the option because he was apparently too good at being bad.
He's just too badass. And they were a bunch of pussies. I was always on Team Johnny. Well, from Cobra Kai. Obviously, when I was young and stupid, I was rooting for Daniel LaPusso.
And the funny thing is, neither Daniel nor Johnny, neither Johnny nor Daniel, their actors knew karate prior to the movie.
But Billy Zabka stayed with it.
Yes. Yeah, that's kind of shitty. Well, actually, what's his face? Ralph Macchio. He's, I believe, he's actually a good guitar player, though.
I think so.
And because there was a movie where he had to train, and I'm assuming he probably kept up with it because you don't just grab a guitar and then put it down. Like, it doesn't work that way. When you learn a few things, you're like, oh, and you just keep going.
Well, Michael J. Fox did not play guitar when he got cast in Back to the Future. He took lessons so that he could effectively pantomime.
Well,
for the
okay. Well, I was going
performance
to
of
say
it.
because the thing is, with how he's pantomiming was very good.
He took guitar lessons, and bringing it full circle, much later in his life, he actually would go on stage with Coldplay and play the guitar part for Johnny B. Good.
You know how I know you're gay?
Because you've seen Rent.
Because you listen to Coldplay.
I don't listen to Coldplay. I just know that.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah,
Do you not know that joke?
Yes, I do know that joke. You remember? I don't want to say his name. Jeremiah.
From our school?
Yeah, Charlene's younger brother. Were you around for our extremely long game of You Know How I Know You're Gay? Like, this lasted months.
No. Did you guys sit together?
Oh, it was sporadic. We were in Vokay together, and then
Okay.
we passed. I think we had one class
I was
together.
going to say, because when I left the lunch table, remember I went with I ended up moving to the skater table.
That's right. But so we're going months back and forth, and just it's getting progressively just disgusting. But I will, Jerry, if you ever see this, I admitted defeat from that day on.
I haven't seen or heard from him.
I
for
haven't
years.
either. So, but we're at Vokay one day, and it's during a break, and we're going back and forth, and I think I don't even remember what I said because this was so good, but I thought I had him. Like, I'm like, hey, hey Jerry, you know I know you're gay. How do you know I'm gay? Because he didn't, how do you know I'm gay? But I hit him with it, and I thought I had it, and not missing a beat, he goes, you know how I know you're gay? And I'm just like, how? Because I'm like, what the fuck you got? What can you say? And I'm like, how? How do you know I'm gay? And I'm like saying this very loud, not thinking. He's like, you drink anal seepage. And I'm just like, I literally just go, you win. I can't come up with anything worse than that.
You're basically like, was it David Hasselhoff in Click when he goes and he's just like, I was just...
I just knew in that moment. I was like, I did. I just like, you won.
That actually reminds me of what is it? Playground offense or playground lines.
Those are so funny.
With
Ryan Reynolds and
but with Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt, and he's like, during our sex scene, I felt your dick rubbing me.
You know, the best one of those was oh god, I'm having a brain fart. The actor who played Cable in Deadpool 2 and Thanos.
Oh, Jeff Bridges?
No.
Jeff Bridges. Played Thanos.
Yeah.
That was
Oh god, I know who it is.
Goonies' older brother.
Yeah.
What's
What's his fucking name?
Oh, damn. Oh. What's
Ah.
his name? No, don't look it up.
I have to.
It's not.
If I can type.
I want to say it's Jeff. My name's Jeff.
Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin.
God damn it.
Damn you!
That was dumb. I'm sorry, internet. But Josh Brolin and Ryan Reynolds, theirs is. Oh,
I think I've seen it.
I just love that because he's like, when you're dressed up as Cable, you smell so bad.
He was Cable.
I can hear it. It's fucking great. Oh god, theirs was great. Ryan Reynolds is so fucking funny, dude. So fucking funny.
You seem mildly attracted.
A little bit.
Listen, he's not afraid.
When he retires, they need to give him a late night talk show.
Oh.
I watched a clip from back when Deadpool had recently been released where he guest stars during Stephen Colbert's monologue.
Oh, he could have taken over.
Yeah, I'm like...
And I'm sorry, anybody's better than Stephen Colbert.
Yeah. Did you ever watch any Craig Ferguson's late night show?
I liked his.
It was the only one I liked. And this is a testament to Craig Ferguson, who is literally
I did not know he was Irish.
Scottish.
I didn't know because like some of the movies that he was in and I watched, like he did an American accent.
Yeah. But he is. It's the only late night host I've ever come across where I would watch the show for the host. Like I watched the occasional Tonight Show because there was somebody on that I wanted to see what
I
they
like
had to
Jimmy
say.
Fallon.
I hate Jimmy Fallon with a
I
fucking
don't like Jimmy
passion.
Kimmel. I can't stand him at all.
Well, no. Jimmy Fallon, I don't know. I don't know why I hate him. Actually, I do know because he did a bunch of really shitty movies in the '90s and early 2000s, and I just don't find him funny.
I don't recall him in any movies.
Corky Romano.
I'd never watched
You
it.
guys want the cookies? He's a fucking.
Corky Romano. Didn't that have what's his face in it? Chris Kattan.
No, Jimmy Fallon was the main one.
Was he?
Yeah. Although if I'm wrong, this is gonna be great. This will be another really funny one. Well, I know he was in Night at the Roxbury, which that was
so
actually.
happy for you.
Oh god, I just don't like Jimmy Fallon. He seems like a really fake motherfucker to me. I don't know why.
I feel like not out of all of them because honestly, Conan O'Brien, he is what he is.
Conan, I enjoy some of his antics, not so much the talk portions, but he's done a couple of really funny skits with Kevin Hart and Ice Cube.
Was it Conan O'Brien who like literally had like Slipknot and like metal bands
I think
on?
that was Conan O'Brien, yes.
And I can't remember who it was. Somebody recently had a band on, which I'm very very fond of right now. It's, they're called Turnstile, and they're so fucking good. But the thing is, their rise to fame, well, whatever they are, they're a hardcore band. So it's like, you know, like I know you don't listen to like hardcore, so you might not know what it sounds like. You hear hardcore, you might think like Slipknot or something. No, it's not like that. It's like it's
no,
different.
I mean
hardcore is just I can't really explain it, but it's music that's like, you know, good. Like other music is good, but hardcore is actually good.
It's music that's like, you know.
But
good.
no, like I'll have to send you a song and see if you like it because I know you're pretty picky with music. Like this dude doesn't like Falling in Reverse, which I'm pretty sure he's probably only heard a couple songs.
I was gonna say, to be fair,
and I could send you some songs you'd be like, that's a fantastic
the first Falling in Reverse song that I was told to listen to, what was it? Some Kind of Monster?
Popular Monster. You didn't like
Popular Monster? No, I did not like that song at all.
Oh, the build-up is so great though. It's not the rapping part. It's that 2-minute, 18-second scream.
Yeah, I know. Like, well, and to be fair, so then you have a band like Avenged Sevenfold, for example.
Can't stand them.
I like 1-2 of their songs.
I don't even like their songs, but I like their guitar work.
Have you heard?
Their guitar work is amazing.
I always attribute.
Actually,
I always joke around and say that the lead singer of Avenged Sevenfold just wishes he was the lead singer of Pantera.
Well, actually, fun fact about the lead singer of Avenged Sevenfold, he tore his voice, and that's why he sounds the way he does. He actually sounded a little more cleaner back in the day, and then now he sounds like that because it tore his voice. But this is a Schecter Diamond Series guitar, and this has the Avenged Sevenfold bats.
Oh, very nice. Another fun fact about Avenged Sevenfold, their lead guitarist is the son of Brian Hayner, who you comedy fans may know as Guitar Guy.
Oh.
who was on a couple of Jeff Dunham's specials when he had the guitar accompaniment.
Oh, cool.
That's his boy, and he's hilarious on Facebook. I'm sure he's hilarious on Twitter too, but I'm not on Twitter, so.
I am. Twitter's amazing right now.
It's probably better now.
No, it's only been like... It's been 1 week
since you looked at me.
But no.
That's an underrated
So, yeah, it's only been like less than a week since Elon purchased it. But, you know, I mean, I felt like for the past, like, few weeks I've been able to post whatever I want, you know. I've never actually been censored because I don't have a lot of followers.
And they're fact-checking Democrats now.
Oh, yeah, when I sent you that and you're like, about time.
Which I guess now AOC is...
They fact-checked Joe Biden. I was like, AOC what?
Apparently AOC is alleging...
Can't afford the $8 a month.
Well, she is alleging that she was having problems with her Twitter, and she's basically insinuating that Elon Musk... Because they had just had, like, a Twitter exchange.
Elon Musk hacked her.
Well, not even hacked her, but just like... Because he doesn't have to hack her anymore.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing, though. I read that, and I'm like, if that's true, that's not good. I don't know.
If Elon's doing what he's doing?
Yeah.
No, he's not.
I didn't think so. I don't think he cares that much.
I'm sorry, but if they allow pornography on their platform, they're going to allow AOC to act like an idiot. And the funny thing is, she was bitching about the $8 a month for the blue check.
Then
like,
just don't
have you
get your
seen
blue
that?
check. Yeah. That's...
You know what the funny thing is? I tweeted back to her. I said, well, I retweeted hers, and then I quote tweeted it. And I said, pay your fair share.
That's good. No, I mean, like, I'll be perfectly blunt. I mean, I just...
You have to pay the $8 a month in order to edit your tweets. I was like,
oh, really?
Hold on. I've got an idea. Delete it and retweet it.
Like the
Edit.
rest of us do.
No, seriously, though, like, every other platform allows you to edit with no issue. Well, actually, that's not true. Instagram doesn't. And it's like, dude,
You know what, though?
here's annoying.
Here is a case. Instagram will let you edit.
Edit your video, but a comment on a video, like say you comment on someone's video, can't edit.
You know what? I'm actually okay with that. I don't think you should be able to edit tweets. Because then fuckers go back and change shit after they get called out for saying something stupid.
But the thing is, with Facebook, edit history.
Okay, valid.
Let's call it. It's a night.
Hello? I'm so happy for you.
That was the hands down. Like, that whole bit was good, but that part like made me laugh so bad.
That might be my new favorite short.
I'm so happy for you.
So remember, everyone, go see The Little Mermaid. Actually, don't. Don't.
Well, actually, you don't have to go see it. Isn't it a TV show or is it a movie?
That's a movie.
Is
The
it
Little
a movie?
Mermaid?
No, the new one coming out.
Yeah, no,
Is it a movie?
it's gonna be theatrically released.
Oh.
I wish if
I don't know
ever
nothing about it.
if ever they had a Disney Plus only release, I wish that steaming pile of you know what? I'm not gonna say it's going to be a steaming pile of dog shit.
It could be good. You never know.
It's not going to be because it's a live action Disney remake and they're gonna overproduce it and it's gonna suck dick.
Listen,
It's gonna suck fish dick.
producers, directors, writers, stop making woke trash because the thing is, the tide's turning.
I see what you
Because the thing is, you are going to sink.
I'm not even like I don't think it's gonna suck because it's gonna be woke. I think it's gonna suck because
It's not the wokeness part. It's the
not entirely
inclusion. And it's like inclusion is not bad. But the thing is, if you have a good actor and it's a good actor, it doesn't matter what color they are. Because I'm sorry, some of the greatest fucking actors, it doesn't matter what color they are. Like Morgan Freeman, hands down, is one of my favorite actors. I watch Shawshank Redemption, even though it's a black man in prison. I watch Shawshank Redemption constantly, like once or twice a month because that's one of my favorite movies. And I know it's like 3.5 hours long. It's a great movie.
I would listen to Morgan Freeman narrating.
His first words, vagina boob.
I would listen to Morgan Freeman narrate a 600-pound man taking a squirty shit.
No, dude. Morgan Freeman going to the freaking fridge and Morgan Freeman opens up his refrigerator door and he grabs his milk for his cereal and he pours it in the bowl.
Morgan Freeman, narrated by Cleveland Brown.
Morgan Freeman, narrated by Morgan Freeman.
You ever think he did that just going around like his place just being like...
What if Morgan Freeman doesn't actually sound like Morgan Freeman when he's home? He gets home, he's like, yo, what up, bitch?
It's like, thank you. You have a good day now. Motherfucker! Turns into Samuel L. Jackson.
No, Morgan Freeman takes off a mask and Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, let's see if you get this joke.
Surprise! Oh, no. It's a dude from Dexter. Surprise, motherfucker.
So let's see if you get this joke. And then he pulls that mask off, and it's Fred Savage,
God.
who is the greatest actor ever.
And then he removes his face, and it's the chicken from Family Guy. All right, we're getting retired. I got poop.
Is Morgan Freeman going to narrate it?
And he sat down on the toilet, and he squeezed one out.
The seat was a little uneven, so it shifted under his weight, and that started the process.
You want to lead us out, or do you want to...
Oh, thank you once again for enjoying this episode of the Average Intelligence Podcast. Enjoying is a strong word, but you're here, so... And as always, if you're not watching the live broadcast, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and tell all your friends and your enemies, because everyone deserves to hear this awesome ear porn. And if you prefer to just listen to us rather than watch us, because let's face facts, we're putting on a little weight. I'm not as pretty as I once was. You can check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Radio Now, Amazon, Audible, and basically anywhere you can listen to a podcast, or you can even just turn it on YouTube, but don't look at it. Make the conscious effort to look away.
Or YouTube Music.
Or YouTube Music. Or basically wherever you get your podcasts. I don't know why I just choked on my own air. That was weird.
And that is the way the cookie crumbles.
Go away.
Goodbye, everybody.